Ready? Good morning, everyone. So, how you all doing? Good, bad, average? No idea. No idea. No problem. Fine. So, as you all are aware, we are having this orientation program for APPSCCE Prelims batch, and just now we have that mains examination concluded. So, hopefully, by September we'll get the final result. So, commission has already committed to declare result in June and July. So hopefully by the end of July month we will have the mains result, and after that it will take roughly 1.5 months time to complete interview process and then finally declare the result. So anytime after September you can expect new notification, right? I don't know, I'm not the authority to comment on this, but seeing the I would say seeing the new uh, creation of new post and more demand in the department, especially in the general administration, we expect that we'll have notification after, right, after September, October. That means the notification is going to be regular now. I mean, every year we'll have notification. So keeping in mind that particular objective, that particular goal, because you are not here just to, just to complete your preliminary preparation. You have to keep in mind the end product. The end product is to get yourself in the final list, right? Unless until you get into the final list, there is no point, and I mean, just uh, entering into the process and ending up in the process itself, right? So we need to focus on the end product. Okay. Coming back to the today's session, will open up brief. I mean, slowly, gradually, so that you grasp the whole. I would say the whole nitty gritty of the process. Okay. So coming to the today's program, the whole session is divided into three parts. The first part would be focused on a detailed discussion related to the plan of examination, the structure, composition of different stages of examination, right from the preliminary stage to mains, and then finally your interview or personality test, you can say. Then the second part is on I would say that is mainly about our course plan and the course features, whatever course we are offering, what specialties we have, what features are added to those courses, and how those courses will help you to crack this examination. This is the second part. Third part is related to the logistics. That means how to handle your online classes, how to download apps, how to register yourself, all those things, study material. So these are three major parts of discussion we have for today's session. Before I take up especially the first part I'll be taking, and then we have other two members here. So let me first of all introduce my colleagues here. He is Amritanshu sir. I mean, very famous. Okay. Uh, then we have Ramnik sir with us. So we are the three members now. And as I said, there are three parts. So first part I'll be covering. I'll be talking about the plan of examination. I mean, briefly trying to condition or doing that conditioning part for the whole process. You should know what is the process, what are the demands of different stages. Accordingly, you can adjust, and you can say you can plan your studies. You can uh, right, you can say you can understand what is needed at different stages, because all three stages have different demand. Okay, so we'll talk about this in detail. After that, as I said, uh, we'll have uh, uh, we'll have Amritanshu sir, who is going to talk about the course details and the features, logistic, all those things. And third, uh, that means your especially at the preliminary stage, you have two paper. You all know, one is general studies, the other is CSAT paper. So for CSAT paper, we'll have a detailed discussion by Ramnik sir. He is the specialist in CSAT section. So this is the plan we have for today's program. So let us start with the first part. Okay, without wasting any time, because we have limited time, 2.5 hours only, and last 20-15 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, will devote for open session. You can ask question, whatever doubts you have. So we'll be here all three, and whatever questions, whatever queries you have, you can say put all those queries to us. Okay, fine. So let us start with the first part. I just said there are three parts, so let me write it here. So here we have the three main parts of today's session. I'll be taking this one, okay? And once I complete the entire discussion on the process right from the first stage to the last stage, we'll come back to the preliminary stage because we are here for APPSC preliminary stage. We are here to prepare for this stage, okay? So we'll come back to the first stage and then I'll talk in detail about the subjects we have in general studies paper, and then we'll have Ramnik sir who is going to talk about the CSAT paper. That means the composition of CSAT paper, different sections in CSAT paper, and how he has planned for the CSAT paper, okay? So these are the three broad areas. As I said, for course plan, features, and the support system, logistics, all those things, these two areas would be covered by Amritanshu sir, right? So let us enter into this part. Uh, the first part, that is plan of examination. Okay, how many of you are aware of this civil services examination? Obviously, we are talking about APPSC, that means State Civil Services Examination. So anyone just raise your hand who is very new. I mean, you have no idea about civil services preparation. Please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And rest, they are the experienced one. So this is going to be a tough session for me, right? Anyways, so those who are new, obviously, they have the advantage because they are going to start afresh. They are going to, start from zero. They are going to start from scratch. Okay, and they have no confusion, no doubt, right? Those who have already, entered into the process, they have taken one or two attempts, right? But still, they were not able to qualify. So obviously, they are more confused because they have lost their energy, they have lost their time, and the cycle of depression, the cycle of, you know, unpredictable future, all those things comes in. So that becomes difficult, right? So if you are able to maintain that mental health, if you if you follow a balanced approach, you would be able to cope up with that, and you would be able to overcome the problems, or I would say the difficulties you are facing in the preparation. Okay, so don't lose your heart and keep going. This is the only solution you have, right? So you have to trust yourself. Okay, even if you have failed in the first attempt, second attempt, don't worry, right? Don't worry. Just give one full year for this particular examination. If you are having one full year for civil services preparation, be it UPSC or APPSC, I think you would be able to manage the examination, right? But 1 year, that means complete 1 year with no other engagement, with no other, with no other occupation, right? You just have to focus only on one objective, only on one goal, that is to get yourself in the final list, right? That is only possible, as I said, if you follow a unilateral, right, a single focused, or I would say a single focused direction, then only you would be able to reach up to your destination. Okay, so this is how I mean the whole process of examination has been drafted. It has been systemized in such a way that it is going to test the candidate from different angles, right? Different angles, right? From your knowledge to your understanding to your power of assimilation to your judgment, right? All those things, and finally your mental caliber also, that would be tested in the interview, right? So everything is it is a full package, right? So right from the knowledge part to understanding to your suitability for a career in civil services, everything is going to be tested right from the first stage to the last stage. So you have to be prepared for that, right? It is not only it is not only about clearing the PT stage and then getting stuck in the main examination. No. So you have to have a master plan, right from the first stage to the last stage. Okay, and then you have sub plans. Sub plans include preliminary stage, plan for preliminary stage, then you have plan for mains, and finally you have plan for the interview test. Okay, this is how you have to proceed in the entire process. Second point, if you are still confused, or I mean you are not interested, or maybe you have been forced to join the course, right? Maybe some pressure from the family, right? And you have come here. So believe me, maybe out of that excitement and seeing new faces, maybe you, me, everyone here, your colleagues also, your friends, you'd be enjoying the process for 5 7 days, and then after that, will be unknown to each other, right? So you'd be completely, you'd be completely out of the whole game, the whole process, and you'd be right, you'd be just wasting your time. So don't do that, right? If you are clear that I want this, I want to pursue a career in civil services, please be here. Okay, you are welcome here. If not, please don't waste your time. There are a lot of things in life to do, right? बहुत सारा चीज है, केवल सिविल सर्विसेज ही नहीं है, ठीक है? दिस इज जस्ट वन ऑफ द ऑप्शन, राइट? ठीक है, तो ऐसा कोई कंफ्यूजन मत रखिए कि मुझे करना ही है, प्रेशर है और वैकेंसीज भी आ रहा है ना? तो यही एक ऑप्शन दिख रहा है, ठीक है, समझ में आता है, बिकॉज द गवर्नमेंट इज द ओनली एम्प्लॉयर इन द स्टेट, राइट? सो वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट, राइट? But be very clear, unless until you have that sync between your mind and soul, you will not be able to crack any examination, right? I'm not talking only about civil services. Even, right, even SSB examination would be difficult for you, right, if you're not having that emotional connect, right? If you're not having that intelligence to to draw a kind of complementary relationship between mind and soul, ठीक है? हमेशा आपको दोनों के बीच में कोऑर्डिनेशन रखना पड़ेगा, तब जाके रिजल्ट आने वाला। पढ़ते तो सभी लोग हैं, ठीक है, मटेरियल भी सबके पास है ना? एंड देयर आर लॉट ऑफ सोर्सेज नाउ, ऑनलाइन बहुत कुछ आता है, ठीक है, मटेरियल का कमी नहीं है ना? फिर क्यों नहीं सभी लोग क्वालिफाई करते? तो कुछ तो बात होगा, ठीक है? तो जो डिफरेंशिएटिंग फैक्टर है वो यही है कि दोज हु आर कंसिस्टेंट, दोज हु आर फोकस्ड, दोज हु आर डूइंग देयर जॉब ऑन ए डे टू डे बेसिस, राइट, they have every chance to crack this examination. Not only this examination, any examination, I would say. Okay, fine. So now coming to the first part, when we talk about this APPSC examination, that is APPSCCE combined competitive exam, this particular examination has two broad successive stages. What are they? Number one, the preliminary test. We casually call it as PT examination, right? Then you have the second stage that includes main plus personality test. So we can, we can comfortably divide that into three parts, no problem. The first stage is the preliminary stage, which is objective in nature, objective test. That means you'll have MCQs here, multiple choice questions, right? 4 options are given, you have to pick the right one. Okay, so this is objective test, fine. Now why this stage has been included in the whole process? This stage is a filtration stage. Filtration, it is a kind of screening test, fine. स्क्रीनिंग टेस्ट है, मतलब क्या करना है, जितने भी अनवांटेड, नॉन सीरियस, हाफ सीरियस लोग हैं उनको बाहर कर देना, ठीक है? अनवांटेड समझते हैं ना? अनवांटेड मतलब वैसे ही मैंने बोला कि भाई बहन ने आपको बहुत ज्यादा मोटिवेट कर दिया, कोई मेंस लिखा आपका घर में, ठीक है, किसी का प्रीलिम्स हो गया, तो लगा कि भाई मेरा भी बनता है ना, और ग्रेजुएट तो हो ही गए, ठीक है, बूढ़ा भी हो रहे हैं, दूसरा ऑप्शन नहीं है, चलो भर देते हैं फॉर्म. And I'll share some statistics with you. This is a screening test, as I said. Now this time, if you talk about APPSC Prelims (2024), recently concluded preliminary examination. In this examination, how many candidates uh, applied for the 140 post which were notified? You all know कितने vacancies थे? 140, ठीक है? And according to commission's data, the total candidate who applied were this much, 22,729, right? They were the applicants. Applicants समझते हैं ना, मतलब फॉर्म भर दिए, ठीक है, इतने लोगों ने, है ना? कमीशन ने पूरा डिटेल दिया था, रिजेक्टेड कैंडिडेट्स भी उसमें कुछ थे. तो दिस इज योर number of applicants, right? Out of this 22,729 candidates, roughly around 17,009 candidates appeared in the examination. मतलब देख सकते हैं आप 5,000 लोग कौन है? अनवांटेड. हाँ, अनवांटेड मतलब फॉर्म भर दिया, ठीक है, एग्जाम आते आते, हाँ, मालूम है पेट में दर्द, सर में दर्द ना, क्योंकि प्रिपरेशन नहीं था, तो दे ड्रॉप्ड, राइट? 17,000, right, 17,000 roughly. This number, I mean these, I mean this is the number of candidate who appeared in the examination finally. ठीक है, अब इसमें से देखिए, वापस जाते हैं हम लोग. 17,009 है, उसमें दो पेपर है, GS and then you have CSAT. Now out of, I mean out of this 17,009 candidate जो appear कर रहे एग्जामिनेशन में, GS में लगभग जो अटेंडेंस था, मतलब टोटल एप्लीकेंट्स का निकाला गया, तो इट वाज अराउंड, राइट, इट वाज अराउंड 76%. ये अटेंडेंस है, मतलब अटेंडेंस किसका? इसका टोटल का, एप्लीकेंट्स का, ठीक है. पर जनरली क्या होना चाहिए? if 76% of candidates are appearing in GS paper, they should, that means the same number of candidates should appear in CSAT also. But out of fear 2% यहाँ भी गायब हो गया, मतलब GS अच्छा नहीं हुआ. हाँ, they didn't went for, I mean they did not take the second session, ठीक है, CSAT पेपर ही नहीं किए, ठीक है. ये हालत है, मतलब लगभग 200 लोग, ठीक है, अगर एब्सोल्यूट नंबर में बताया जाए तो roughly 200 candidates they dropped their second session, right? Now coming back to one more statistics, why I'm saying that this is a filtration process or filtration stage screening test. Now you see here, if I take 17,009 कैंडिडेट, रफली 17,000 ले लो, कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है, 17,000 candidates who have appeared, right? How many candidates are going to be called for mains examination? The rule says 12 to 13 times of the total number of vacancies, ठीक है, 12 to 13 times. How many candidates were declared selected or declared, I would say they were given the chance, they were allowed to take main examination? It is 1658 total number of candidates who qualified the preliminary stage, right? 1658, and if you take the total number of applicants, that is 22729, then in percentage terms that would be 7.2%. That means only 7.2% of candidates, only 7.2% of candidates have qualified for the main examination, which also means that 92% candidates were rejected. क्या हुआ? ये स्क्रीनिंग टेस्ट है, ठीक है. So the first stage is not a test for selection. This is a test for rejection, right? The focus of the commission is to reject the candidate. Majority of the candidate, I'm not saying majority, over 90% of candidates are rejected in the first stage itself, right? So this stage is important, no doubt, right? But it is not important for merit making. That means the first stage is just a qualifying stage, okay? You just have to qualify this stage so that you get a ticket for the main examination, okay? But this stage is very crucial because unless until you clear this hurdle, you will not be getting that chance to showcase your potential in the main examination, okay? तो हर स्टेज इंपॉर्टेंट है, ठीक है. ये मत समझिए कि पीटी का प्रिपरेशन, अरे पीटी का तो हो जाएगा, है ना, because we have seen many, I mean seasoned aspirants, right, who have been preparing for last 4-5 years. They were having standard preparation, उसके बाद भी नहीं हुआ, ठीक है. Why? Because you took that stage casually, you took that stage, I mean not so seriously, right? Main preparation is fine, you have to be very strong in that, you have to be very much, you should have a overwhelming performance in the main examination, and that is going to secure your position in the final list. But at the same time you have to ensure that you are able to clear the first stage, okay. So this is the, right, this is the, I would say, this is the tenor of the first stage, or you can say this is the objective of the first stage, where the focus of the commission is to reject the candidate, right? Reject the half serious, non-serious, right? Those candidates, and filter the creamy ones, okay, and allow them to take the main examination. This is your number who are taking the main examination. That means they took the main examination 1658 candidates, right? Out of 1658 candidates, how many candidates are going to be finally selected? You already know that, right? How many candidates would be called for the interview? Obviously the ratio is 1 is to 3, right? 1 is to 3, that means 3 times of the total number of vacancy. This is the maximum number of candidates who would be who would be facing interview. ठीक है? तो ये पहला स्टेज है, थोड़ा इसको ध्यान रखना है, ठीक है? यहाँ पे ऑब्जेक्टिव बिल्कुल अलग है, कमीशन का फोकस अलग है, right? The objective of this examination is to test the knowledge of the candidate, right? To test the range of information a candidate possesses, right? To test the length and breadth of information, right? Not the depth of the information, not the not your understanding, right? But if you look at the UPSC paper, right, UPSC preliminary paper, you'll find that unless until you have a grounded, a grounded preparation, unless until you have better understanding, or unless until you have control over the topics, right, you will not be able to clear the PT stage. Which means that understanding is important. Along with understanding, you need information also, right? So once you have your concepts fine, if you have your foundations well developed, obviously you would be able to deal with the preliminary stage with some with some addition of information. Okay, this is what this is what we have to do. This is what we should do, where we should focus on the integrated preparation. That means doing main preparation. Along with that, along with that, we should also keep we should also keep alive. We should also be alive to the demand of the preliminary stage, where informations to play an important role. Okay, so this is the first stage. Now coming to, I'll open up this stage later on. I mean, we'll talk about the structure and composition part. Coming to the main examination. Main examination, you all know, this is subjective. ये सब्जेक्टिव है, ठीक है? यहाँ पे आपको क्या करना है? पेन पेपर लेके लिखना है, ठीक है? Right? You have questions and you have to present your opinion, your answer, your whatever I said, whatever you know judgment you take on those questions, you have to present your judgment with a with a pen and paper, ठीक है? तो this is a subjective examination, right? ये subjective examination है और ये main stage है, right? This is the main examination. Why it is main examination? Because it has a weightage of around 1750 marks. Okay, 1750 marks plus 275 of personality test. These two, I mean, the marks of these two stages would be clubbed together, and finally the merit, the merit list would be prepared. Okay, तो merit इस पे नहीं बनेगा आपका, यहाँ पे बस आपको qualify करना है, and then you have to enter into the second stage. You have to perform well. You have to write good answers, and you would be getting chance to टेक इंटरव्यू, ठीक है? ये मेन एग्जामिनेशन है. अच्छा, फिर यहाँ पे ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है कमीशन का? Here the objective changes. That means after the PT stage, you'll find gradually the commission is focusing on selection rather than rejection. ठीक है? जो proportion है candidates का selection का वो बढ़ जाएगा. It goes up to 25 to 33%, right? It is only 7.2% in the first stage, right? And it goes up to 25 to 33% in the second stage, and finally, you know, you have the final list. That means your final result, and that would be 100%, right? ठीक है? तो ये subjective examination है. यहाँ पे focus क्या है? The commission the commission tests the understanding of the candidate, right? Your intellectual traits, okay? Your depth of understanding of the various topics, various subjects, okay? This is what we see in the main examination. Once you have cleared this stage, right, you would be entering into the third stage, that is your interview, okay? And it carries 275 marks. As I said, your mental caliber would be tested, the suitability of candidate for a career in civil services would be tested, your judgment would be tested, your opinions would be heard, your I mean, from different angles you would be tested, your whole personality, right? Your verbal, non-verbal communication skills, everything would be tested, right? So this is your personality test. Fine. Now coming back to the first stage quickly and talk in detail. I'll do one thing. First of all, we'll have two tables here. just to have a bird's eye view of the entire process, and then we'll open up the first stage and talk about the two papers. फिर से कॉलिंग लगा लो, वही होगा। एनीवेज पानी वही मिस्टेक है। Okay, now come to the first stage. Let us focus first of all on this first stage, preliminary test. You already know the objective of the examination. You know the, you know the focus of the commission. Commission क्या चाहते हैं पहले stage में. Now coming to the structure and composition part, there are two papers here in the first stage. General studies paper, right, which carries 100 questions, right. For every correct answer, you would be awarded 2 marks. Okay, so the total marks is 200 marks. Fine. Then CSAT paper, okay, it carries 80 questions. Each correct answer will fetch you 2.5 marks. That means total marks is again 200. Okay, but this paper is a qualifying paper. Are you getting my point? This paper is a qualifying paper, which means that if you have cleared or if you have secured above 33% marks in this paper, then only your general studies paper would be evaluated, right? Even if you have secured 80%, 90% marks in general studies and you fail to secure minimum 33% marks in CSAT, you'll not be, right, you'll not be making through, right, you'll not be making through the first stage, you'll not be facing the main examination. Okay, so this is your, right, this is your first stage. And within the first stage, as I said, this whole stage is a qualifying stage. ठीक है, मैंने क्या बोला, ये क्वालिफाइंग स्टेज है, पूरा स्टेज का बात कर रहा हूँ, स्टेज 1, राइट, पूरा का पूरा स्टेज क्वालिफाइंग है. Within this stage, you have one paper which is qualifying. Okay, which is that paper? CSAT paper. ठीक है, ये खुद भी मतलब इतना इंपॉर्टेंट है कि अगर इसमें आपने मिनिमम 33% मार्क्स नहीं लाए तो आप बहुत अच्छे हो जनरल स्टडीज में, फिर भी कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. ठीक है, आप रेस में है ही नहीं. ठीक है, जैसे कि एक छोटा सा डेटा है, APPSC 2020, राइट, इस बार का कमीशन डेटा कुछ ऐसा ऑफिशियली शेयर नहीं किया, तो आई डोंट वांट टू स्पेकुलेट, मैं अपना तरफ से कोई डेटा नहीं दूंगा. ठीक है, अनलेस अंटिल इट इज देयर इन द पब्लिक डोमेन, राइट. सो व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट APPSC 2020 प्रीलिम्स, कमीशन ने डेटा जो शेयर किया तो पता चला कि ओनली 4400 कैंडिडेट्स क्वालिफाइड CSAT. ओनली कितने लोग अपीयर किए? लगभग 19,000 कैंडिडेट्स अपीयर्ड इन द एग्जामिनेशन इन 2020, राइट. आउट ऑफ 19,000 candidates, you have only 4,400 candidates qualifying CSAT, which also means that those who made to the main stage, they, right, they were part of the 4,400 candidates. हाँ या ना? इसका एक मतलब ये भी है कि 4,400 कैंडिडेट्स के अलावा बहुत सारे ऐसे जो कैंडिडेट रह गए, लगभग कितना, लगभग 13-14 हजार. ठीक है, तो 14,000 कैंडिडेट, मे बी आउट ऑफ 14,000 कैंडिडेट्स देयर मस्ट बी समवेयर अराउंड 100, 200, 300 कैंडिडेट्स who secured 70%, 80% marks in general studies, but they could not maintain, right, they could not maintain a good strike rate in the CSAT paper, right, not been able to secure 33% marks, and they could not make it, right, make to the main stage. ठीक है, तो ये बहुत डिस्टर्बिंग ट्रेंड है. ठीक है, यूपीएससी में भी ये देखा जाता है ना. तो सीसैट पेपर को हल्के में नहीं लेना है, क्वालिफाइंग पेपर है. उसी तरह से जैसे कि पूरा का पूरा पीटी एग्जामिनेशन ही क्वालिफाइंग है. ठीक है, बट स्टिल दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट. सो विद इन पीटी एग्जामिनेशन, the paper which plays a very important role is CSAT paper. Why? Because this is the first, right, this is the first sub hurdle, or you can say a minor hurdle in the first stage. If you clear this hurdle, then only you are, right, you are a participant in the process, right. आप एलिजिबल पार्टिसिपेंट हो. ठीक है ना, पार्टिसिपेंट समझ रहे हो ना, कि आपका इवेल्युएशन होगा, आपका टेस्ट होगा, पर अगर आपने 33% मार्क्स यहाँ नहीं लाए तो आपका टेस्ट भी नहीं होने वाला. ठीक है, आपका पेपर देखा भी नहीं जाएगा. ठीक है, तो दिस इज वन, राइट, वन पॉइंट यू शुड कीप इन माइंड. Now coming back to, because you have already understood this CSAT paper qualifying nature, 33% mark, that means out of 200 you have to secure somewhere, right, somewhere around 66, 67, right, 67 marks. ठीक है, मतलब ये कट ऑफ फिक्स है, इसमें आपको बहुत टारगेट नहीं करना है. यू डोंट हैव टू टारगेट फॉर 70%, 80% मार्क्स, यू जस्ट हैव टू मैनेज द कट ऑफ, राइट. यू जस्ट हैव टू टारगेट फॉर मे बी 40%, right. Target 40%, you would be landing somewhere around 35, 36%, your job is done, right. That means you don't have to waste much of your energy in the CSAT paper. ठीक है, यहाँ पे एनर्जी को थोड़ा कंजर्व करना है. ठीक है, बचाना है. और कहाँ पे इन्वेस्ट करना है? Obviously, right. Okay, you have to invest your energy here in general studies paper, because, right, because here Here we have the competition, right? And when we talk about competition, obviously we always क्या क्या हम लोग बात करते हैं? We always think of the magical क्या? The magical marks. Okay, that means in simple terms कट ऑफ मार्क्स कितना होगा, ठीक है ना? कितना मतलब अगर हमने इसमें अपना 33% रखा है, राइट? इफ आई सिक्योर अराउंड 35%, then what should be the cutoff marks? What should be the minimum mark I should target in general studies paper so that, right, so that I am called for the main examination, ठीक है? तो जनरली जो मतलब जो एक कन्वेंशनल अप्रोच हम लोग लेते हैं, तो हम लोग हमेशा यही बात कहते हैं कि भाई आप पहले स्टेज के लिए फॉर जनरल स्टडीज यू टारगेट 50 to 55% ऑफ मार्क्स। ये आपका टारगेट होना चाहिए, दिस शुड बी द टारगेट। 50-55%, 50-55% मीन्स आउट ऑफ 200 कितना हो जाएगा? 110 के आसपास, है ना? अगर आपका ये टारगेट है तो आप इजीली मैनेज कर लोगे। टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस ईयर एग्जामिनेशन, क्या कट ऑफ है? क्या कट ऑफ है दिस ईयर? एपीपीएससी, और सरप्राइज हो जाएंगे आप लोग इतना इजी क्वेश्चन होने के बाद, ठीक है? 2024 प्रीलिम्स, राइट? कितना कट ऑफ है? कमीशन ने कोई डेटा नहीं दिया, ठीक है? ये हम लोग 1-to-1 इंटरेक्शन ना, स्टूडेंट से बातचीत करके सबसे, किसी का 84 में सिलेक्शन नहीं हो रहा है और कोई बोल रहा है मेरा 82 में हो गया, ठीक है? बात समझ में आ रहा है? तो एक जो आइडिया लग रहा है कि द कट ऑफ वाज समवेयर बिटवीन 85 to 86 मार्क्स, ठीक है? 85-86 मार्क्स आउट ऑफ 200 मीन्स हाउ मच? कितना है? लगभग 42%, है ना? मैंने आपको बोला 50 to 55% टारगेट करो, यू नेवर नो, राइट? इस बार क्वेश्चन बहुत इजी था, उसके बावजूद भी कट ऑफ इतना, आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग द कट ऑफ टू बी अराउंड 120, ठीक है? लेकिन आई वाज सरप्राइज कि 85-86 में, और ऐसे ऐसे लोग जो मतलब बीहड़ लोग, जो बीहड़ समझते हैं ना, जो 4-5 साल से लगातार कर रहे हैं, जो एस्पिरेंट 3 में है, ठीक है ना? तो एस्पिरेंट 3 नहीं, एस्पिरेंट 1 एक वेब सीरीज आया था, तो 3 अभी तक लॉन्च नहीं हुआ, वो लोग 3 में चले गए, वो लोग ही बनाने वाले हैं, उसका मेन लीड रोल वही लोग का है। तो इतने जबरदस्त लोग, क्या हुआ? 82, 83, किसी का 78, 75 ऐसे। Why? Because the questions were so easy, straightforward, ना, factual questions, ठीक है? And they were not prepared for that. We prepared something up to the standard of UPSC, ना? लेकिन ये कोई मतलब थोड़ी होता है कि हम तो पीएचडी कर लेना, हमको स्टैंडर्ड 1 का नहीं पता, ये तो बात नहीं है, ठीक है ना? जैसे आपने मान लो स्पेशलाइजेशन कर लिया, बट यू राइट, यू नो द बेसिक्स, यू कैन नॉट फॉरगेट दैट, ना? ठीक है? तो ये कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया, एनी हाउ आई मीन उनका टाइम भी खराब हो गया, ठीक है? और इसमें सांत्वना देने का, कॉन्डोलेंसेस ये सब देख के कोई फायदा नहीं है ना। मेरा बस चलता तो मैं सबको सिलेक्शन करा देता ना। किसका नहीं मन करता है कि सबका सिलेक्शन जो भी आए सबका हो जाए, पर ऐसा तो होने वाला नहीं, एवरीवन नोस, राइट? तो दिस इज वन, राइट, वन पॉइंट यू शुड कीप इन माइंड। जो अभी का जो मतलब ये रिसेंटली जो प्रीलिम्स हुआ उसमें ये कट ऑफ रहा, ठीक है? तो आप अगर इसको टारगेट करते हो तो आप मैनेज कर लोगे, ठीक है? अब आप बोलेंगे सर 55% क्या मजाक है, ये तो हम लोग का स्टैंडर्ड से बिल्कुल कम है, क्योंकि पूरा लाइफ लॉन्ग तो आई सिक्योर्ड 75 डिस्टिंक्शन मार्क्स लेके आया, हमेशा 80%, 90%, आप 55% लाने बोल रहे हो, ये तो बर्दाश्त नहीं होगा ना। ठीक है, आप बर्दाश्त मत करना, पूरी जिंदगी बर्दाश्त करते रहना, because if you target for 90%, believe me, you would be landing around 35 to 40%, right? If you do it in a judicious manner, why? Because my friend, there is a holding game here. क्या है वो? एक स्ट्रिंग अटैच्ड है, और वो क्या है? पेनाल्टी मार्किंग, ठीक है? निगेटिव मार्किंग जिसको कहते हैं, ठीक है? 1/3 of your marks would be deducted if you have chosen a wrong option, ठीक है? तो बहुत लोग बोलते हैं कि हमने 100 का पूरा 100 ही अटेम्प्ट कर दिया ना, बहुत खुशी हुआ, आज सर बोल नहीं सकता मैं कितना खुश हुआ। ठीक है, मतलब बिल्कुल खुश होने वाला बात है, क्योंकि 2 साल से आपको ओएमआर भरने का गोल गोल करना तो बहुत आसान काम है ना। ठीक है, उसमें मजा भी आता है। कोई कोई लोग सांप सीढ़ी भी बना देते हैं, ऐसे चलना है ABCD, फिर DCAB ऐसे कर, है ना। तो ये सब चलेगा नहीं। 100 आप अटेम्प्ट करो, दैट मीन्स यू हैव कमिटेड ए मिस्टेक, यू हैव कमिटेड ए ब्लंडर, राइट। दैट वाज नॉट द पार्ट ऑफ द स्ट्रेटजी। ठीक है, आपका बैलेंस स्ट्रेटजी ये है कि इफ यू आर 100% श्योर, राइट, एंड इफ यू हैव सिक्योर्ड अराउंड 60, राइट, 60 राइट आंसर, स्टॉप। ठीक है, टेम्पटेशन को कंट्रोल करो ना। नहीं तो बैठे बैठे बोले आज 40 को क्यों छोड़ो। हाँ, आई वॉन्ट टू बी टॉपर हियर, क्योंकि यहाँ पे टॉप होके पूरे जिंदगी का सांत्वना मिल जाएगा कि कम से कम टॉप तो किए थे पीटी में। आपको खुद पता नहीं कि आप कितना मार्क्स लाए। ठीक है, commission is not declaring who is the topper, right? Commission only declares the number of candidates who have what, who have qualified the PT stage, those who were able to maintain the minimum, right, minimum marks in CSAT paper, and they were able to cross this cutoff marks in general studies paper. That's it. कोई इनाम नहीं मिलता है। ठीक है, कि भाई साहब मुझे तो पीटी स्पेशलिस्ट हूं मैं, हाँ, मेरा तो नंबर 1 चाहिए। ठीक है, सारा एनर्जी यहाँ वेस्ट कर दिया, एंड देन मेंस का समय आया, बस हाथ पैर फूलना शुरू। ठीक है, अब क्या करें, क्योंकि आदत हो गया वो गोल करने का, हाथ चलता ही नहीं, लिखने का बारी आ रहा है। ठीक है, अपना भी नाम लिखने में 2-3 मिनट लग जा रहा है। ठीक है, तो दिस इज व्हाट आई मीन द डिफिकल्टी वी फेस, द एस्पिरेंट्स फेस once they cross the PT stage without having any, right, any plan for the main examination. You should be mentally ready, even if you have not started anything, you should know what is going to come, right, क्या होने वाला है। ये आफत, इस आफत के जाने के बाद बहुत बड़ा आफत आने वाला है, वो कौन सा है, मेन स्टेज, राइट। ठीक है, तो इसके लिए प्रिपेयर रहना पड़ेगा आपको, इसलिए मैंने बोला कि यू हैव टू हैव ए मास्टर प्लान, राइट। पहला मतलब राइट फ्रॉम द सोर्स टू द एंड। ठीक है, आपने कहाँ स्टार्ट किया और कहाँ पे खत्म करना है। ठीक है, right, your job is not to, right, not to claim or proclaim to be, right, to be a PT master, right. You have to, right, you have to ensure that you have your name in the final list. अगर वो होता है then only your purpose is fulfilled. नहीं तो आपका पूरा का पूरा समय, पूरा का पूरा एनर्जी, पूरा का पूरा जो इन्वेस्टमेंट है, मे बी योर मेंटल ना, इमोशनल, फाइनेंशियल, सारा इन्वेस्टमेंट बेकार हो जाएगा। ठीक है, आप लोग पैसा खर्च करोगे, you'd be wasting time here ना, आप अपना accommodation देखोगे कितना मुश्किल होता है ना। ठीक है, तो just think about this. तो if you have, right, if you have decided, stay in the process for 1 year, right, come what may, जो भी हो जाए। ठीक है, right, 1 साल तक मुझे इस प्रोसेस में रहना है, और दूसरा कोई मेरा काम नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है, ना बस्ती जाना है ना कहीं जाना है, बस्ती एक ही बार जाना है। ठीक है, सिलेक्शन होने का बाद, हाँ, क्योंकि सिलेक्शन होने के बाद तो बस्ती वाले आपको बुलाएंगे, है ना, और नहीं हुआ तो उसके बाद बस्ती से हमेशा फोन आता रहे, और कितना साल रहना है ईटानगर में ना, ऐसा ही होता रहेगा। तो जस्ट, राइट, जस्ट इमेजिन द सिचुएशन, राइट, what problems you are going to face, how you are going to overcome those challenges. So this is how, right, this is how you should plan for the entire process. Don't take it lightly. Don't say, don't, don't dissociate, don't say, don't bifurcate or separate those stages from each other. They all are interlinked, एक दूसरे से लिंक्ड है। ठीक है, एक स्टेज हुआ तब दूसरा स्टेज। ठीक है, तो आपको ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा, दिस इज ए, राइट, दिस इज ए प्रोसेस व्हिच टेस्ट योर पेशेंस लेवल ना, आपका कितना पेशेंस है। ठीक है, पूरा 1 साल तो मिनिमम लगता है, एंड सम टाइम बिकॉज ऑफ डिफरेंट रीजंस ना, अनवांटेड रीजन, है ना, मालूम है, सम टाइम द एग्जामिनेशन प्रोसेस गेट्स डिलेड बाय 3-4 years, एंड दैट हैज हैपेंड मेनी अ टाइम्स हियर, है ना। पता चला आपने आज पीटी का एग्जाम दिया, कुछ उसमें कंट्रोवर्सी हो गया, मेन का एग्जाम दिया, कंट्रोवर्सी हो गया, and the whole process delayed by 4-5 years, and by the time what happened, you cross the age limit. आपको तो पता है ना कि एज लिमिट क्या है, कितने लोग जानते हैं व्हाट इज द एज लिमिट, एज लिमिट, अपर लिमिट। अच्छा, मिनिमम एज रिक्वायर्ड कितना है, 21, है ना, ठीक है, बहुत अच्छे। मैक्सिमम एज, मेरे भाई इसको बहुत आप लोग ऐसा लगेगा कि क्या सर ये सब हम लोग जानने के लिए थोड़ी ना आए थे, हम लोग को तो कुछ पढ़ाई है ना। ठीक है, पर रूल्स समझना जरूरी है. बिफोर यू एंटर इनटू द गेम यू शुड नो द रूल्स ऑफ द गेम, राइट. तो जनरल कैंडिडेट्स के लिए जो जनरल बोलते हैं, ठीक है ना, दैट इज 35 years नाउ. इट हैज बीन अमेंडेड, द अपर एज लिमिट हैज बीन अमेंडेड, एंड फॉर APST इट इज 40 years, ठीक है. और अगर आपके पास गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉय हैं आप एंड यू आर APST, सो फर्दर 5 year. हाँ, मतलब कहने का मतलब है कि कब्र में जाने से पहले सिलेक्शन हो जाएगा, है ना. तो ऐसा सिलेक्शन का फायदा क्या है ना. उसी तरह से जैसे कि मुंह में दांत नहीं और पेट में आत नहीं, ठीक है, और खाने के लिए पूरा पड़ा हुआ है ना, यू आर नॉट हैविंग दैट एपेटाइट ना, खाने का मन नहीं है, दांत भी नहीं है, चबाने का भी हिम्मत नहीं, फिर भी खाना इतना पड़ा, वही हाल होने वाला बुढ़ापा में सिलेक्शन हुआ तो, ठीक है. तो यू हैव टू मेक श्योर कि सिलेक्शन होना है पर राइट टाइम पे होना है, ठीक है. 5 साल बाद 7 साल बाद सिलेक्शन होगा तो यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू बी एन एफिशिएंट ना. बहुत मुश्किल है, मतलब एक्सेप्शनल केसेस हो सकते हैं, ठीक है ना. ह्यूमन बींग्स आर वेरी यूनिक ना. एज इज जस्ट ए नंबर, हम लोग फेसबुक पे पढ़ते रहते हैं ना वो सब, एज इज जस्ट ए नंबर ना, पता चलता है लोगों को, ठीक है. तो इसलिए ध्यान रखना है कि इट शुड बी राइट, इट शुड बी ए वेरी फोकस प्रिपरेशन विथ ए क्लियर कट ना, क्लियर कट आई वुड से क्लियर कट ऑब्जेक्टिव. मेरा गोल क्या है, ठीक है, उससे भटकना नहीं, और वो नहीं मिलता तो पूरा का पूरा टाइम चला जाएगा, ठीक है ना. तो दिस इज योर फर्स्ट स्टेज. नाउ कमिंग बैक टू द सेकंड स्टेज, फटाफट देख लेते हैं इसको, क्योंकि मैंने बोला कि एक हमेशा बर्ड्स आई व्यू लेना चाहिए, पूरा प्रोसेस का पूरा एंड तक जाना चाहिए. तो फॉर द मेन स्टेज यू कैन सी द फर्स्ट पेपर हियर, जनरल इंग्लिश पेपर, दैट इज अगेन ए क्वालिफाइंग पेपर, राइट. एंड हियर इट इज ऑफ 300 marks, यू हैव टू सिक्योर मिनिमम 33% मार्क्स, ठीक है. और रूल क्या कहता है, ठीक उसी तरह से जैसे CSAT PT स्टेज में कर रहा है, same role general English paper plays in the main examination, which means that if you are not able to secure 33% marks here in this paper, other papers won't be evaluated, ठीक है. आपका सारा मेहनत बेकार, ठीक है. तो बहुत लोग बोलते हैं सर इसका भी प्रिपरेशन होना चाहिए. अगर इसका प्रिपरेशन करना पड़ेगा दोस्त, तो फिर तो यही बात है कि पुनर्जन्म में विश्वास रखना पड़ेगा. पुनर्जन्म समझते हैं, रीबर्थ. आई डोंट बिलीव इन इट, पर आपका हो सकता है विश्वास हो, ठीक है. पुनर्जन्म मतलब फिर से बच्चा पैदा हो, फिर से स्कूल जाओ, है ना. इसको कौन प्रिपेयर करेगा यार. अरे दिस इज सिंपल, यू नो, सिंपल रीडिंग राइटिंग स्किल, नथिंग एल्स ना. हाँ, अपना नाम लिखना, अपना अपना बायोग्राफी, जिसको ऑटोबायोग्राफी करते हैं, वो आपको लिखना है. आप सिंपल एक्सप्रेशन, सिंपल इंग्लिश एक्सप्रेशन, राइट. तो ये तो बहुत इजी है, ठीक है. तो रूल 33% मार्क्स, ठीक है. नाउ कमिंग टू अदर पेपर, ये जो एसे से लेके ऑप्शनल पेपर तक, एसे कैरीज 250 marks. देयर आर 4 GS पेपर, राइट. 250 marks each for 4 GS paper, that means total is 1000 marks, right. Then you have to choose one optional paper which has 2 paper, okay, one optional subject which has 2 paper, again carrying 250 marks each, that is 500. So total is 1000, 500, 1500, 250, 1750 marks, ठीक है. ये आपका टोटल मार्क्स है जिसपे मेरिट बनने वाला है, ठीक है. दैट मीन्स if you have right, if you have secured minimum marks here, then you have performed well here, then then you would be you would be having that chance to uh, go to the last stage, that is your interview. वहां तक जाएंगे आप. तो 1750 मार्क्स में आपको कितना लाना है. अभी कमीशन का जो रूल है, जो अभी रिसेंटली अप्रैल में रूल आया, it says that the aggregate marks the candidate has to secure is 33%. Aggregate. (33%) किसका? 33% of 1750, ठीक है. तो that would be somewhere around 577. ये आपका टोटल मार्क्स होगा लगभग, provided the candidate has been able to secure minimum 20% marks in individual paper, ठीक है. 20% मार्क्स क्या है? 20% मार्क्स 250 का, ठीक है, ऐसे में in all 4 GS paper individually, right. That means the individual cutoff is 20% and the aggregate cutoff is 33%। ये रिसेंटली जो अमेंडमेंट हुआ है, ठीक है, द रूल्स हैव बीन अमेंडेड, ठीक है ना, एंड पर्सन विथ बेंचमार्क डिसेबिलिटी, फॉर देम वी हैव अ डिफरेंट क्राइटेरिया. The aggregate marks for them is only 20%, and they have to maintain 10% minimum marks individually. That means 10% minimum marks in those individual paper. That means all those 7 papers. ठीक है, कौन कौन से 7 पेपर हो गए? ऐसे 1 4 GS पेपर, 5 2, right, 2 paper of one optional subject, so 7 papers. That means in all 7 papers the candidate have to, the general candidates have to, right, have to maintain 20% minimum marks, and the aggregate marks should be above 33%. It doesn't mean that you secure 570, 577 or somewhere around 600 and you would be facing interview. नहीं, जरूरी नहीं है, ठीक है. It totally depends upon how everyone has performed, right? ठीक है. And generally फिर से rule वही है, ठीक है. You talk about UPSC, you talk about any state PCS examination, you'll find that the cutoff ranges between 50-55%. If you are securing around 55-50%, you would be among the topper. You would be among the topper, and we always aspire for, we always target for the premier service. ठीक है. अब मालूम है कंबाइंड कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम है, इसमें बहुत सारे सर्विसेज होंगे, ठीक है. यू हैव APPCS, यू हैव APPS, है ना, लार्सो, बहुत सारे होते हैं ना, ट्रांसपोर्ट का बहुत सारे इसमें सर्विसेज, देयर आर 24 सर्विसेज, ठीक है. तो आपको तो टॉप चाहिए, है ना, यू वांट टू बी APCS ना, तो फॉर दैट यू हैव टू, राइट, यू हैव टू टारगेट फॉर 50-55%. तो इफ यू टारगेट समवेयर अराउंड 50-55%, you would be able to see yourself in the final list, maybe in the top 10 also, पॉसिबल है, ठीक है. तो अभी का जो रूल के हिसाब से मैंने बता दिया, यू शुड कीप इन माइंड 33% is the aggregate marks the candidate has to secure, ठीक है, पहला बात. Provided the candidate has been able to maintain minimum 20% marks in all 7 paper individually, ठीक है. essay paper 1, 4 GS paper 5 and 2 paper of one optional subject, ठीक है. 7 पेपर्स में 20% मिनिमम चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि जैसे मान लो आप ऑप्शनल में बहुत अच्छा मार्क्स ला रहे हो, बट यू आर नॉट, राइट, यू आर नॉट परफॉर्मिंग वेल, और you have a, right, you have a weakness in GS paper, maybe 1 GS paper, maybe GS paper 3, GS paper 4 ना, and you fail to secure 20% marks, again you are out. समझ रहे ना, you are out, कोई फायदा नहीं. ऐसा हुआ है बहुत बार, ठीक है. I mean those candidates who are having, you know, who are having engineering subjects, ठीक है, बहुत सारे IIT ग्रेजुएट्स हैं, ठीक है. IITians बहुत सारे लोग मैथ्स रखते हैं, फिजिक्स रखते हैं, ठीक है, और आउट ऑफ 500 दे सिक्योर अराउंड 430 440, बहुत ज्यादा मार्क्स है. एंड ह्यूमैनिटी सब्जेक्ट में यू गेट एवरेज मार्क्स. तो कैसे उसको स्केलिंग करेंगे, कैसे हम उसको बराबर करेंगे? तो उसके लिए जरूरी है कि you need to have again one, right, one string attached here, one condition, right, one condition here, one condition attached is to maintain minimum, right, minimum marks in all paper individually, ठीक है, सातों के सातों पेपर में, ठीक है. तो ये तो हो गया मेंस का बात. आफ्टर दैट द थर्ड, द फाइनल स्टेज, that is your personality test. And in personality test, I just said it carries 275 marks, है ना, 275 मार्क्स. अब ये क्या टेस्ट होगा यहाँ मालूम है आपको? आपका ऑब्जेक्टिव नॉलेज टेस्ट हो गया, पहला स्टेज. सेकंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग टेस्ट हो गया, इंटेलेक्चुअल जो कैपेसिटी है वो आपका टेस्ट हो गया, ठीक है. योर इंटेलेक्चुअल ट्रेट्स हैव बीन टेस्टेड टू फुलेस्ट ना, अच्छा सा टेस्ट हो गया मेंस में. अब बचा क्या? अब बचा आपका पर्सनालिटी, ठीक है. आप कैसे हैं, क्या आपका माइंडसेट ठीक है, क्या आप बैलेंस जजमेंट लेते हैं, क्या आपका प्रेशर सिचुएशन झेलने का ताकत है, ठीक है. डू यू हैव स्टील, राइट, स्टील, आई मीन स्टील नर्व्स, ठीक है. ये सारा टेस्ट होगा. दैट मीन्स सिंपल टर्म्स में बोल सकते हैं, इट इज अ टेस्ट टू, राइट, टू फाइंड आउट whether a candidate is suitable, right, whether the candidate is suitable for a career in civil services or not, ठीक है. उनका मेंटल कैलिबर का, उनको बैलेंस जजमेंट का, प्रेशर सिचुएशन झेलने का, ये सारा कुछ का टेस्ट होगा. मतलब ऐसा रूल कहता है, ठीक है. जरूरी नहीं कभी कभी फैक्चुअली क्वेश्चन पूछ के आपका इंटरव्यू खत्म हो जाए, ऐसा भी होता है, ठीक है. स्पेशली इन द स्टेट PCS इट हैपेंस, राइट, बट इन UPSC you'll find, you know, it is according to the rules, ठीक है ना. एक पर्पसफुल कन्वर्सेशन होने वाला है, ठीक है, बिटवीन द बोर्ड मेंबर्स एंड द कैंडिडेट, ठीक है, जस्ट टू डिसिफर व्हाट, राइट, व्हाट इंटेंट्स यू हैव, ठीक है, आपका मेन टारगेट क्या है, व्हाई यू वांट टू ज्वाइन, राइट, व्हाई यू वांट टू ज्वाइन सिविल सर्विसेज, ठीक है, व्हाई यू वांट टू बिकम ए सिविल सर्वेंट। बहुत लोग का इंटेंट होता है एक बार तो बनने दो फिर बताऊंगा ना, हाँ, फिर बताऊंगा कि इधर का सिंघम कौन है ना। तो आपका इंटेंट को पता करना, ठीक है, आपके बातचीत से समझ में आएगा कि ये कैंडिडेट का क्या इंटेंशन है, ठीक है। बहुत लोग का इंटेंशन बहुत क्लियर होता है कि घुसते के साथ ही पूरा सफाया कर देना है ना, सफाया मतलब समझ रहे हैं ना, सारा माल पानी खा लेना है, ठीक है, पब्लिक का पैसा को, समझ ही रहे हैं आप, ठीक है, ये सच्चाई है। यू विल फाइंड सम एक्सेप्शंस, है ना, जो एक्सेप्शन होते हैं वो सिस्टम में फिट नहीं हो पाते, ठीक है। तो दिस इज व्हाट आई मीन द प्रोसेस ट्राइज टू डू, दिस इज आई मीन प्योरली ए फॉल आउट ऑफ द सिस्टम, एक सिस्टम का फॉल आउट है कि इस तरह से करप्ट ऑफिसर्स हो जाते हैं, है ना। बट यू नो as far as the process is concerned, the process is very you know very tiring, it is very cumbersome, right, and it tries to find the best candidate, ठीक है, मेरिटियस कैंडिडेट। प्रोसेस तो ठीक है, थ्योरेटिकली ठीक है, बट प्रैक्टिकली ग्राउंड पे जाते हैं सब कुछ बदल जाता है, ठीक है, दैट इज अ सेपरेट इशू। हम लोग का काम, मेरा काम, इनका काम, टीचर्स का काम क्या है, just to focus up to the theoretical stage, once you get selected we have no relationship, जाइए, हाँ, आपका अलग जर्नी शुरू हो गया ना, ठीक है, हमारा उसमें एक्सपर्टाइज नहीं है, उसको हम नहीं बताएंगे, हाँ थोड़ा मोड़ा कुछ बोल सकते हैं अपने एक्सपीरियंस से, बट अदरवाइज हमारा जो एक्सपर्टाइज है, हमारा जो कमिटमेंट है, दैट इज ओनली अप टू, राइट, ओनली अप टू द टाइम यू गेट सेलेक्टेड, ठीक है, एक बार सिलेक्शन हो गया, दैट्स नाउ यू आर एम्बार्किंग अपॉन ए न्यू जर्नी, ठीक है, अलग ही जोन में जाने वाले, ठीक है, जो पढ़ते हैं और जो रियल ग्राउंड सिचुएशन होता है बिल्कुल अलग होता है, ठीक है ना। तो दिस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड फॉर द एंटायर प्रोसेस, एंड I think I have already consumed a lot of time. So I'll invite Ramnik sir to elaborate on this part, talking about the CSAT paper. Thank you so much.
Okay, good morning everyone. Thanks to Rajiv sir for explaining everything, almost everything about the different stages. And now we will see something about the CSAT. Okay, fine. So you know this, na? This CSAT paper is of aptitude. Na? This is a aptitude paper, civil services aptitude. Fine, as the name it is. So this is also called paper 2 of your prelims. ठीक है, काफी लोगों ने अपने लिखा भी होगा prelims, है ना? And those who are appearing first time, this is paper 2, है ना, which is in the noon shift. ठीक है, and as you know, sir has already told you that is a qualifying paper. तो ये चीज है ना क्वालिफाइंग, तो यही चीज के कारण इग्नोर हो जाता है दैट इट लुक्स दैट वी जस्ट हैव टू क्वालिफाई, है ना, क्वालिफाई तो करना है ना. सो दैट इज व्हाई इट इज टेकन एज इजी, एंड दिस इज द रीजन दैट सीरियस कैंडिडेट्स फेल इन सीसैट, है ना, जिनकी बहुत अच्छी प्रिपरेशन होगी जीएस में, दैट दे आर इवन, है ना, क्लियरिंग द कट ऑफ वेरी इजीली, बट स्टिल यहाँ पे जाके हो जाएगा डिस्क्वालीफाई ड्यू टू 1 mark 2 mark, है ना, on the border some people who are very well clearing the cutoff, they will be disqualifying this. And other challenges, it is a noon shift. Already you are exhausted after the paper 1, so when you go for 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. shift, so you are already, due to some your performance in the GS or something like that, you will feel nervous, nervousness आएगी. And this is not just that you have to read and you have to mark the options, है ना, रीड करके मार्क करने की तरह तो नहीं है जीएस की तरह. यू हैव टू बेसिकली सॉल्व दी प्रॉब्लम्स, है ना, एप्टीट्यूड है, यू हैव टू सॉल्व, so solving will take time. It's not like you will be able to do all the questions, fine. So यहाँ पे 100 questions तो नहीं होते हैं वैसे भी, that they will not give you 100 questions in GS1, है ना, the paper 1 you have 100 questions, every mark or every question is having 2 mark, but here due to the length of the paper there will be 80 questions, ठीक है, 80 questions होंगे आपके, but marks will be same, that is it is a 200 mark paper. So weightage will be different, na? So this is also important that each question here carries your 2.5. So each question is important in CSAT, that you have to get it positive and you have to solve it to earn that marks, है ना. आपको solve करना पड़ेगा, आप 80 questions तो नहीं कर पाओगे, you have to solve some number, है ना, to qualify the paper, है ना, that we have to reach here, that is the purpose of our classes here. 2.5 and 80 questions, है ना, that is the total that you have. And other thing is, this is a 33% qualifying paper, है ना, यहाँ पे limit लगी हुई है, that you don't have to be specialist in CSAT, है ना, you have to just qualify it, that you have to get 67, है ना, 6700 out of the 200 you have to score. So for the 67, how many questions you are going to do, that you will be deciding beforehand, है ना, ये नहीं कि उसी दिन आके फर्स्ट टाइम आप CSAT लिखोगे और आपको ये सारी चीजें, है ना, क्लियर हो जाएंगी, वो नहीं, आपको पहले प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ेगी टू रीच, है ना, व्हाट आर द एरियाज यू आर गोइंग टू पिक एंड हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू गेट दोस 67 मार्क्स, फाइन. यू आल्सो नो पेनल्टी, है ना, सर ने आपको ये भी बताया है, देयर इज अ पेनल्टी, that there is a negative marking, that you are going to lose 1/3 of your mark if you mark any option wrong, है ना, like even if you have done 25 27 28 questions in, suppose, है ना, before the time, but you have, while filling the OMR, आपका ऑर्डर थोड़ा सा भी आपका, बिकॉज ऑफ नर्वसनेस, है ना, टाइम लिमिटेशन है, 2 क्वेश्चन तो ऐसे 1-2 क्वेश्चन जाते हैं, so that is each question here you are losing if it is negative more than GS, है ना, GS से ज्यादा आप लूज करोगे, because it is a 2.5 mark question, so यहाँ पे नेगेटिव भी ऑलमोस्ट 1 mark के करीब हो जाते है ना, 0.833 marks you are going to lose if you are doing it incorrectly. So this is the thing you have to keep in mind, that, है ना, this paper is having more negative marking in terms of the each question, है ना. Suppose आप 27 questions पे कर रहे हैं ना, 27 questions you are doing, and, है ना, magical accuracy you have, that you have 100% accuracy, then you will score 67.5 marks, but 100% किसी की होगी नहीं, है ना, because there is comprehension also, there is maths also, reasoning भी है, फिर प्रेशर भी है ना. सो इवन इफ वन एक्स्ट्रा यू आर डूइंग रॉन्ग, एक क्वेश्चन और आपने गलत कर दिया, सो दिस इज गोइंग टू डिक्रीज है ना योर स्कोर by drastically change है ना. That is 2.5 marks you will lose due to that. Now you have 26 question right है ना, plus you will lose the 8.33 है ना, 0.833, this ये भी आपका जाएगा. So net you are going to lose है ना 3.33 marks for each negative question है ना. 3 नंबर बहुत ज्यादा होता है, like 3.33. अगर दो क्वेश्चन भी और गलत हो गए मीन्स दिस इज नॉट अ सेफ नंबर है ना. 30 क्वेश्चंस कर लोगे तो सेफ नहीं होगा कभी भी है ना. सो यू हैव टू डू अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, ऑलमोस्ट 50% क्वेश्चन तो अटेम्प्ट करने ही पड़ेंगे ना. दैट at least we should be able to solve a comfortable number, because we know that negative marking is huge और 100% accuracy नहीं होगी. जीएस में नहीं होती तो सीसैट में तो और भी है ना चैलेंजिंग हो जाएगा, because you have to solve and it will take time, it will make you more nervous है ना. एक क्वेश्चन में 5-5 मिनट भी लग सकते हैं ना विदाउट प्रैक्टिस. सो 40 क्वेश्चंस कर रहे हो है ना, 30 क्वेश्चन सपोज यू हैव डन राइट एंड 10 क्वेश्चंस, एवरेज एक्यूरेसी है किसी की, मतलब बहुत अच्छी नहीं है, देन ऑल्सो इट विल बी प्रॉब्लम है ना. एक्यूरेसी पे भी वर्क करना है. दैट इफ यू जस्ट दैट आई हैव अ गुड स्पीड, मैंने प्रैक्टिस की है, बट है ना स्टिल इफ द एक्यूरेसी इज पुअर और वी कैन से एवरेज, तो फिर आपके मार्क्स है ना वही चीज हो जाएगी. दैट 10 आपके सही है, 10 आपके 30 आपके सही, 10 नेगेटिव है ना. सो यू विल लूज 8.33 मार्क्स here, and with the 30 you will earn about 67.5 marks है ना, not 67, this will be 30 into 2.5 है ना. so this will be about 75 marks है ना, 75 आपको मिलेगा. so this will be a case where you will be on the border line है ना, border line पे आ जाओ. that if you see this is a borderline score about ना 67 point you are getting this thing, borderline पे आपका स्कोर आ रहा है. so this is not safe. So that is why है ना, even if you are attempting a good number of questions, you have to है ना improve your accuracy also, that we are going to work upon है ना. यही सब चीजों पे हमें काम करना है कि आपका एक और क्वेश्चन सही होता है, बॉर्डर लाइन पे हो, तो यू विल नेवर बी फीलिंग सेफ आफ्टर द एग्जाम. अब बस आपका एक महीना जब तक रिजल्ट नहीं आएगा, यू विल बी वरी दैट वेदर आई हैव क्लियर्ड सीसैट और नॉट. जीएस मेरा अच्छा हो गया, सीसैट क्लियर हुआ है कि नहीं हुआ है, वही मार्क्स बार बार आप जोड़ोगे तो आपको और ज्यादा टाइम वेस्टेज ही होगा. सो विद एवरी है ना वी हैव टू रिड्यूस दिस नेगेटिव आल्सो, वी हैव टू इंक्रीज दिस पॉजिटिव आल्सो. अगर एक क्वेश्चन आपका एक्स्ट्रा इसमें से सही होता है तो सीधे आपका ना 67 में आपको पता है जंप आपका मिलेगा, आपको 3.33 मार्क्स का जंप आपको सीधे मिलने वाला है. दैट यू विल बी इन दी सेफ जोन, 70 से क्रॉस हो जाएगा ना. सो 40 क्वेश्चन से भी हम करके दिखाएंगे कि 40 क्वेश्चंस he should be able to clear the CSAT paper, but we have to work on that. Whatever we are doing it perfectly है ना. जो भी एरियाज हम पिक करेंगे वो सारी चीजें हम करेंगे. then है ना what are the different things regarding this thing, that what are the different areas. तो सिलेबस आपका जो मेंशन्ड है नोटिफिकेशन यूपीएससी से थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट है, जो यूपीएससी में सीसैट आप देते हो थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट है, बट वही चीजें ही है. that if we see ना there is topics mentioned like general mental ability, then there is basic numeracy, fine, then there is your logical reasoning, and mental ability है ना, and they will use these kind of words, but we have to decode that what actually this thing is. then there is your area decision making and problem solving. then there is reading comprehension, Fine. Then there is interpersonal skills, including communication, है ना, including communication skills. Fine. So these look something new to some people, that कुछ चीजें आपने UPSC CSAT में नहीं देखी होंगी, like है ना interpersonal communication. But if you broadly see, this is basically maths, है ना, ये maths है आपका. If we see this thing, this is nothing but reasoning. If we simplify, and this is some part of related to English, है ना, English से related part है. So if we see broadly, it is the this breakup. इसमें आप थोड़ा सा इसको different भी देख सकते हो, but broadly this is the breakup. Some reasoning question will also be involving some maths, है ना, जैसे आपका clock का question है वैसे हो सकता है, but maths normally means some kind of calculations you have to do. Reasoning में हो सकता है डायरेक्शन पूछ रहा है, ऐसे है ना, सिंपल चीज पूछ रहा है तो वो, या फिर सिलोजिज्म्स है तो सिंपल भी हो सकता है. So है ना, these three areas are broad areas that we have to see. इसमें maths का ट्रेंड है ना, इफ यू सी एवरेज ऑफ 2 years, अभी तक 2 साल ही हुआ है ना पेपर, एवरेज ऑफ योर 2 years ऑफ पेपर, दैट इज ऑफ 2018 and then 2000 sorry this 2020 and then this was the first time 20 में आया था आपका CSAT, है ना, then in 24 this recently 24 one. So maths is having about average 24 questions, ठीक है, 24 questions आपके इसमें से आ रहे हैं. Reasoning if we see, there is about 18 questions from reasoning, है ना, average about 18 are coming. So maths is the dominant area, ये dominant area है. And this is है ना, if I have seen students here, they face more difficulty in maths. Comprehension वगैरह students का ठीक है mostly, है ना, English part is fine, but maths is weak. Reasoning is also fine with students, reasoning भी ठीक है students का, but है ना, we will see because each student is different, so we will focus on every aspect. Then English है ना, comprehension का देखें तो 20 questions आते हैं आपके, 20 questions is coming from comprehension. And this communication part ना, English के दो part थे, एक आपका RC and then there is your communication, है ना, communication देख लेते. So this is having about 10 questions. Then some questions they are asking of general studies and GK part also in the CSAT. That is unique thing about ना APPSC CSAT. कुछ है तो वो bonus marks की तरह ही आपने जो GS में पढ़ा है, that knowledge will be used for about ना 7-8 questions रहते हैं उससे. So this is the major breakup where you can see है ना, सबसे ज्यादा आपके RC के क्वेश्चन है और फिर मैथ्स के क्वेश्चन है, रीजनिंग के है. Then if we see English also, this reasoning part or this reading comprehension part also, इसमें भी क्या है, 2 years में different type का पेपर आया है, वो सब चीजें भी देखी. Like last year, this year it was mainly one question type question, but earlier one passage and lot of questions. तो कौन सा easy हुआ अगर ज्यादा क्वेश्चन आपको एक पैसेज में मिलते हैं, but this time they also change this thing, that is each small passage was having one question on that you have to read again to solve one question, read again, है ना, तो ये चीजें भी माइंड में रखनी है, that we cannot ignore ना any area. And while the practice only you will know that which area of yours is fine, है ना, आपका comfortable area कौन सा है वो practice से ही पता लगेगा. So this was the trend, है ना, trend और हमने syllabus देखा क्या रहेगा. Then how we are going to plan about this thing, that what will be our plan, हमने क्या करना है CSAT में, so that है ना we can basically qualify this paper, qualify and give sufficient time to GS. GS से ही आपका merit बनेगा. But if we ignore this, even after है ना scoring 100 marks in GS, that is of no use, है ना, फिर कोई use नहीं. So you have seen there are 3 parts, है ना, major parts आपने देख लिया, maths है, reasoning है, and then है ना we can say English part which is having comprehension and your communication kind of question, है ना, वो थोड़ा English based statements ही है. So here our booklets will also be so designed, है ना, आपकी 3 booklet रहेंगे. That is we have one booklet for your maths and one for your reasoning and one for your this फाइन, ये तो हो गया that what is the different you can say things that we are going to do. They will be having what the booklets will be containing, है ना, they are basically designed for relevance to exam, है ना, ये important चीज है that we are not doing anything in general, है ना, we are doing specifically for the exam, for APPSC exam, है ना, means we will do all our previous year questions of the 2 years that will be included in the booklet, but we cannot directly jump to a problem, ना, पहले हमें एक फाउंडेशन बनाना पड़ेगा if you want to solve all these previous year questions. So for that, ना, along with these previous year questions of APPSC, there are some good questions from other state exam also that we will be doing, है ना, कुछ अलग स्टेट एग्जाम्स के भी होंगे उसमें क्वेश्चन, अदर स्टेट PCS एग्जाम, so only relevant questions for our CSAT will be doing, and some UPSC level questions which are useful वो भी करेंगे, ठीक है. Then you cannot do directly, हमें सीधे तो इस पे जंप नहीं करना है, so we will start with very basic problems, foundational problems से start करेंगे, and we will solve these problems in class only. Then you will be doing some problems ताकि आप easy से moderate to difficult में direct jump नहीं करेंगे, you will be comfortable first with some of the foundational problem, then PYQ you will be doing, and some problems I will be giving you for homework, ना, तो ये चीज माइंड में डाल लो कि दिस इज डिफरेंट पेपर, यहाँ पे रीड रिवाइज रीड नहीं चलेगा, that if you are keep reading on the booklet 10 times, if you are whatever you have attended the class, आपने solution note कर लिया बोर्ड से, and you are again reading it, that will of no use. You have to basically solve and practice in this paper, है ना, ये डिफरेंट पेपर है तो इसमें डिफरेंट चीज रहेगी, सॉल्व एंड प्रैक्टिस, बस ये सॉल्व प्रैक्टिस एंड प्रैक्टिस आपको करते जाना, just whatever you are doing in the class you have to just repeat that thing, and whatever homework that I will be giving you उस पे फोकस रहेगा, no nothing else you have to worry about, बस इतना ही करना है. You have to attend the classes, you have to live questions that will be practice in the class, है ना, कुछ live questions में आपको मैं टाइम दूंगा आफ्टर डूइंग दी प्रॉब्लम्स, फाउंडेशनल प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करेंगे, कुछ आप यहाँ पे सॉल्व करके दिखाओ, एंड वट एवर डाउट्स यू आर फेसिंग यू कैन आस्क आफ्टर द क्लास ऑल्सो, एंड नथिंग यू हैव टू वरी कि आपको और क्वेश्चन कहीं से करने हैं, नए नए क्वेश्चंस की बजाय इन्हीं क्वेश्चंस को बार बार करोगे तो आपका बेसिक स्ट्रांग होगा. फाइन, सो दिस वाज दैट अबाउट प्लान, तुम कैसे करने वाले हैं इसको ये आप समझ गए, बट एक्चुअली में क्या रहेगा कोर्स का और क्लास का प्लान वो भी देख लेते हैं. दैट देयर विल बी अबाउट 45 क्लासेस, अबाउट नहीं मतलब 45 क्लासेस ही है, ऊपर जाएंगी कम नहीं हो सकती ना, 45 तो करेंगे, 45 क्लासेस में करेंगे, you know, है ना, the area which is problematic for us all is maths, है ना, मैथ्स में ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट्स फेस करते हैं, तो मैथ्स में वी विल बी डूइंग मोर नंबर ऑफ क्लासेस, मैक्सिमम इसी में करेंगे, एकदम बेसिक से स्टार्ट करेंगे, कैलकुलेशंस वगैरह ना, जो सिंपल कैलकुलेशंस है, डिवीजन नहीं हो पा रहा है, कैसे ऐड करना है फ्रैक्शंस को ना, वो बेसिक चीज़ों से स्टार्ट करेंगे बिल्कुल, एंड देन वी विल जंप टू कोर एरियाज, है ना, जो एग्जाम में पूछे जाते हैं. And then your reasoning classes, reasoning आपको समझ आ गया ना, the second booklet that is mainly our reasoning booklet. In this there will be about 13 classes. This is bit easier than maths ना, तो इसमें टाइम कम लगेगा, ये स्टूडेंट कर लेते हैं, तो इसमें इतना ज़्यादा टाइम भी नहीं देंगे, 13 classes is fine. मैथ्स में ज़्यादा टाइम लगेगा, but we will not ignore के कोई भी चीज़ इग्नोर नहीं करनी है. So English in which comprehensions and other things है ना, the communication part that will be about 7 classes. ठीक है. देन अदर थिंग इज डिपेंडिंग ऑन योर कंफर्ट एंड हाउ यू परफॉर्म वी कैन मॉडिफाई दिस ऑल्सो ना, तो कोई उसमें वरी नहीं है, बिकॉज वी आर हेयर टू दैट यू हैव टू बेसिकली बी कंफर्टेबल कि आपको क्लासेस के बाद दोबारा इतना हो जाए कि CSAT पेपर की वजह से नहीं रुक रहा ना, GS पे आपको उसके बाद अटेंशन दें. फाइन, एंड दी रिगार्डिंग दी टाइमिंग्स एंड ऑल, it will be morning class, every class will be of 2 hours duration, ठीक है. From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. you'll be attending the classes, है ना. Monday to Saturday रहेगा ये चीज normally. Okay, Monday to Saturday, 2 hours duration, and the 45 classes. We will start from maths, like we will start from number system, but पहले calculation वाले basics देखेंगे. Then है ना we will jump to the other areas, है ना. वो हम decide कर लेंगे कि आपकी comfort के हिसाब से कि आपको साथ साथ में कौन सा area करना. Fine. So this is about our the CSAT plan, and rest of the things, है ना. Sir has already sensitized you about the importance of the CSAT, because है ना, you know, sir has given you a beautiful data कि आपको like the last 2020 data that we have, that sir told 4,000 about cleared, है ना, about the 17,000. So 4,400 के करीब आपके clear हुए थे in the CSAT paper. So this is about 25%. 25% means that in every 4 only 1 person has qualified the CSAT. 3% have not qualified, है ना. अगर सिंप्लीफाई हम ऐसे करके देखें तो ये बहुत, है ना, स्केरी चीज है कि out of 4 people 1 people was clearing the CSAT. So इसको इग्नोर नहीं करना है. इसका सिंपल ये है कि कॉम्प्लिकेटेड नहीं है ना. उतना बस 67 क्रॉस करने के लिए that but we have to do that. We are going to focus on this CSAT course. Fine. So now I will welcome the Amitabh sir for technical details of the course and other support system of the.
So good morning everyone. Yes, so I'll be walking you through few things which I'll be just writing it down so that we have a coherence. So first I'll be dealing with the course details that we are offering along with the structure of the course. Next in line we'll be talking about the faculties and the subject breakups, like which subject will be taken by which faculty and what is the tentative number of dates, tentative number of classes that we have for each subject. That is also provided in your booklet, right? After that we will be looking into the teaching methodology that we are going to follow throughout our course. Then I will be briefing you about materials and resources that you will be given and you have to keep in mind throughout the course. And last we will be talking about little bit about the technical details related to the mobile application and the websites. Fine. So this is the agenda that I will be walking you through briefly. Now when it comes to the course details, you must be knowing that we are having two kind of courses here. One is the prelims foundation course for GS and the next is the prelims foundation course for CSAT, right? So these two things are going to start tomorrow. Regular classes are going to start from tomorrow, both of GS foundation as well as CSAT foundation, correct? The timing for GS foundation is 7 to 9:30 a.m. in the morning, the same time that we have this workshop, correct? Reason is the entire day will be free, fine, and you will have some things to study at your home. Then we have the CSAT class from 10 to 12. After a 30 minutes gap, the CSAT class will start, fine. Now when it comes to the prelims stage, you must be knowing about the different subjects that we have. Obviously the main pillar subject is geography. As Rajiv sir says that geography is the mother of all the subjects, but actually it is political science, but let it be. Sir is here, so obviously geography is the mother of all subjects. So geography, we have Indian polity, or we can just call it polity in general. Then we have economy. Now my friend, these three subjects are the pillar for this entire stage of examinations, not only in prelims stage. Reason is around 100, 110 to 120 marks question out of the 1750 marks in mains, right? You all know that mains is of 1750, correct? So forget about the optionals. Out of 1250 marks in mains, 120 marks comes from geography, correct? So 1200 में से 120 marks geography से आता है mains में, the stage which counts the most. So 10% question, 10% weightage is of geography out and out, correct, in mains stage. Forget about the PT for now. Then comes the polity part. Indian polity part has a separate paper of its own in GS paper 2 mains. So 250 marks ka question out of 1250 marks in mains comes from polity. Are you getting my point? इसको हिंदी में, अरुणाचली हिंदी में we call it polity का बिना उपाय दोमा, correct? इसको ऐसे समझ जाइए आप. 120 geography, 250 polity. I mean, obviously I am including the international relations aspect too, correct? Now comes to the economy part. Again, economy 100 to 120 marks in mains is going to be asked from economy. Now in APPSC prelims, economy does not have that much weightage, and the questions from economy are very basic. But in mains again, economy has a separate paper of its own in GS paper 3. Half of the paper of GS paper 3 belongs to economy. So these three are the main pillars, my friend, main pillars. But for clearing prelims, you have to have a hold on another pillar which is known as history. Now history is also important in mains. I am not saying that, but in mains only modern Indian history is important. Art and culture is important. But here in the PT stage, ancient Indian history, medieval Indian history and modern Indian history is very important. So history is one such pillar where there is two different things that you have to study in PT and mains. I can call it different, but it is just that one part you have to study in mains, that is the modern Indian part and the art and culture part, but in PT you have to study the entire all three stages of Indian history. Is it fine? So broadly speaking, these are the four pillar subject. But in PT, my friend, now these are important in mains. मतलब majority importance mains में बहुत ज़्यादा है. But geography and history, these are the two broad major pillars of prelims examination. Because polity by default सबका अच्छा हो जाएगा, right? उसके बिना तो उपाय दोमा है. So by default you all will study, so it will be good. Now coming back to other risky topics. Risky topics may we have environment, and you will be surprised to know that around 15 questions in APPSC prelims is from environment this year. 15, 1-5, more than polity. You will be surprised to know. Polity से 2 question ज़्यादा है environment में. Fine. And then we have science. General science we have in the syllabus. These are the broad topics that you have to follow, and these are the broad topics that we will be teaching. Other than that, if you go through the syllabus mein there is current affairs. So current affairs will be giving you a booklet, and we have some important announcements also related to current affairs which Rajiv sir will be telling you at the last. So these are the broad pillars that we are going to teach, and based on the new pattern, new type of question that has been asked in APPSC prelims, we have also included 2 dedicated classes for international institutions, जैसे World Bank, IMF, SARC, ASEAN and all those things which are going on in the news. Based on the new pattern, we have also included 2 more classes for international institutions, regional and international institutions. Is it fine? So this is what we are going to offer in the GS course. Now you have the booklet with you. Geography will be taking geography into 28 classes, correct? The number can be 29 and 30, right? But it will not be 27. Are you getting a point? So 28 classes geography will be taken by boss himself, right? Rajiv sir will be taking the major portion of the geography part. He has been doing this process since last 15 years in Arunachal Pradesh, right? But I have requested for little portion in Indian geography, which I will be taking the Indian geography part. But the main foundation will be led by Rajiv sir in geography part itself, correct? Now, then the polity, Indian polity part, 20 classes have been dedicated to the Indian polity part. This will be mostly directed towards prelims itself, but with a hindsight of the mains topics too, correct. I'll be giving a brief about all the topics here, but mainly it will be prelims oriented course. In economy we have some 10 classes, correct. History will have some around 20 classes that you can see, and environment and science will have around 15 classes that you can see there. If you just go through that, we have environment 8, general science 7, 8 plus 7 15, geography 28, polity 20, economy 10, and we have history as 20. Fine. Now, so geography will be taken by Rajiv Singh sir, you can see there. Polity and economy I will be taking, my name will be Amritanshu, and the most difficult job of environment and science will be done by Ramnik sir, who is an engineer, so he has a better hold on these subjects of environment and general science, and he has taught the foundation batch of PT itself. The last PT batch Ramnik sir took these subjects. And history, we have a senior faculty as Sanjay Singh sir, who presently is in Vision IAS Delhi, right? And we have managed the schedule. He was also there with us during the last APPSCCE Prelims foundation batch. So he will be taking the same history portion in the GS part. Okay, fine. This is the course details, brief course details that is there. Now from tomorrow what we are going to do, tomorrow we are going to start with the Indian polity part from tomorrow. Okay, the course duration, the total classes, if you add up, the total classes comes to be 95 class. Okay, it will be, maybe it can go to up to 98 or 100, right, but around 95 to 100 classes it will be there. Total course duration including the Sundays and other offs, it will be around 120 days. We have kept a buffer with us, correct. So entire May, entire June, entire July and entire August. So from 1st May to 30th August we are going to wrap up this particular course. Sundays no class at all, no matter what, because we don't have that pressure on us, because this is a regular batch. So there has to be, we can kind of sit back and we can relax and we can have a productive session. So therefore Sunday is absolutely off. There may be one weekday off in between, correct, but Sundays will remain off until and unless some exigencies take place, maybe in July, August itself, but May, June you are not going to have classes on Sunday. No test on Sunday will be there. Now when it comes to the course details, this is the course details over. Now course structure में समझिए कहानी, 2.5 hours की classes चलेंगी. Then if you come back to the faculties part is clear. Now the entire CSAT is taken by Ramnik sir only, and the CSAT duration will be 45 classes, my friend, and it is kept only 2 hours because we don't want you to bombard with unnecessary headaches, because already you are doing GS in the morning. And this is the most challenging part, that we have kept CSAT deliberately after GS, so that the mind training starts right from the word go. Is it fine? So he will be taking around 20th 25th June तक this will be ये हो जाएगा wrap, पर उसके बाद फिर आपका ये portions बचेगा. Now what we have done, we will start with polity, then we are giving you a break with environment and science. Fine. So after polity is over, around some 25th 26th May, polity will be over. Then Ramnik sir will be starting with environment and science, so that after a major subject you can also prepare it meanwhile. And after that, as per now, geography will be started around mid June, right, around 15-20th June के आसपास geography paper के साथ Rajiv sir will be starting with this. So this is the broad plans for 3 subjects that we are telling you right now. उसके बाद how it will progress, we'll let you know. But tomorrow we are going to start with the Indian polity part. I will be starting with the Indian polity aspect. Okay. Now coming back to the next part quickly, I will go with the teaching methodology. So what we are going to follow, what we are going to do, how we are going to use our portal, online app portal that we have. It's a wonderful thing that we have developed over the years. See, when it comes to the teaching methodology, it consists of, सबसे पहले it consists of classroom teachings, which is then sometime depending upon the different faculties, it will be supplemented through the class little bit dictation notes that will be giving you meanwhile. It will be very minute, but also it depends upon the different faculties. So this is something. Then we'll have a printed notes that will be given to you in advance, correct? Printed notes, printed booklets. Even if you are online student, you will be getting this printed booklets. You just need to send someone to collect these booklets on your behalf, okay? Then we are going to have a very unique thing this time, daily MCQ as per class teachings. Total 10 MCQs will be there daily. Now where they will be? Will not be giving you a printed form, will be giving you on the mobile application itself, so that all of you will attempt and we will get to know the merit, right? There will be competition, day to day merit hoga, automatic hoga, it will be not manual. So there is no need to tumhara marks kya hai, tumhara marks kya hai, it will be an automatic thing. Now suppose tomorrow we start with a topic, say president. So in the class itself we'll be studying about the president, and sharp at 9:30 in your mobile application the MCQ quiz will be live with 10 questions. The moment you open that, you will be having 5-7 minutes, and within that 5-7 minutes you have to solve that 10 questions, correct? Ensure that you take that MCQ quiz before next class. You will have around 24 hours. आप उसको कर लो, so that in the next class we can discuss those questions as a revision for the first 5 minutes. Are you getting my point? But उसके लिए you have to come daily, you have to take the test daily. मेरिट लिस्ट भी होगा, उसमें पता चलते रहेगा कौन टॉप मारा है. Is it fine? उसका एक ट्रायल will be live in the app just after this work orientation session. आज का एक fun session will be live there. You can just get an idea about the user interface. Is it fine? Now this is a very important part. Now my friend, what is the total duration of prelims course? Number of classes कितने हैं GS में? What did I say? 95 to 100? Every day 10 questions, right? So 100 classes into 10. How many questions? 100 classes per day 10 questions, 100 into 10 1000. So 1000 questions का practice हो गया. Are you getting a point? And those 1000 questions are coming from where? Previous year questions. Very, very important. Now slowly, gradually this progression has to be done. If you sit in a week and you solve all the papers, it will not give you that much result which daily solving 10 questions will be giving you. Are you getting a point? Now 100 days, 1000 question over. Now suppose polity is over. After 20 days polity is over, we'll give you 1 day break, maybe not, and after that there will be a 100 question ka test of polity, both online test as well as offline also. जो offline आते हैं वो लोग OMR based test देंगे, right? We have a machine, immediately it will be evaluating. Those who are online, they can give the test on the app itself. वो PDF वाला धंधा नहीं है दोस्त, हाँ कि PDF भेजे आप घर से बनाए और आप खुद मैच किए. No, we are not living in Baba Adam's age, correct? We have to have a merit list in place. So online and offline you can give that test, sectional test, correct? So 100 question और polity का हो गया. Similarly, every subject will have sectional test of 100 questions once the classes are over. And my friend, those 100 questions are already attempted by some 2000 students in the last APPSC batch. 2100 students have appeared in those tests. I will be giving you the same question. Why? Tell me why? So that I could get the rank. उनका तो rank है ना उसमें, right? Where do you stand in that rank? For that we will be living the sectional test live होगा same, so that वो 2000 जो लोग हैं, 200 लोग हैं, 300 लोग हैं, किसी ने 300 people have given the test. So where do you stand in those 300 people? Fine. For that purpose we will be repeating the same questions. Now once this entire process is over in August, we will be having 2 full length tests, correct? 2 full length tests we will be having at the last, but there is something that we can discuss is later. Full length test that we are going to have. Are you getting my point? So this is the teaching methodology that we are going to follow over the next 4 months. But for that, this holds the key, my friend. And for this holds the key that you have to come daily. You cannot miss. If you miss, don't come next day. First clear the backlog of the last day. Okay? then only come to the class next day. Never ever skip. See, brick by brick foundation has to be laid. This is a new crop altogether, right? We have waited for 4 years for the last examination, and for 4 years the students have prepared diligently. Many of them will get through. You have to do the same process again in the same manner. No changes are required, no changes. If out of 285 marks is the cutoff in PT, it's very simple. And I'll tell you with personal experience, there are students with 140, 130 out of 200. There are students who cleared on the boundary line with 86 marks. Correct? कौन ज्यादा तेज है दोनों में? पीटी से पता नहीं चलेगा, पीटी से दोनों लोग क्वालिफाई हो गए ना, मेंस में डील है. अब मेंस का आप रिजल्ट आने दो, right? Let the final result be out in September. We will call the students and just ask them their PT marks. Majority of them will lie around 90. Majority of them. You have to have a balancing preparation, my friend. Balance बड़ा जरूरी है जीवन में. हर subjects में balance है. It's very important, right? So this holds the key. Correct? And all this key must be applied here. Daily MCQs. Very very important. Diligent है दोस्त. 1000 question हो जाएगा. मजाक नहीं है. With explanations and all those. Why 1000 question में से the questions will be asked in the examinations. Why we are saying this? Because there is a scanner on the last page. You can just scan that. You can see that 74% of the questions in PT examination, out of 98 questions, 75 questions were directly from the classroom programs. I have attached the proof also, just to get an idea. कुछ भी question इसका beyond नहीं पूछा जाएगा आपका PT में. कुछ भी question नहीं आएगा, ये fix है. This is something that we are expert at. You just go and see the proof yourself. Fine. So this is the teaching methodology part that we are concerned with. Now coming to the material and resources that I'll be telling you. First, printed notes you all will be getting. Now we are giving out four notes to total. There will be the total booklets of GS batch will be 8 of different subjects, right? Polity ka ek, economy ka ek, geography ka ek, and the total booklets for CSAT will be 3. Fine. It will be given to all of you. Now at this stage we have 4 booklets ready of GS. Fine. So if you enroll, you are getting 4 booklets. Even if you are not enrolled, you can collect your Indian polity booklet that is going to start from tomorrow, right? Indian polity booklet, you can all collect it from the office after this orientation session, irrespective whether you are enrolled or not. You can collect the first booklet of CSAT irrespective are enrolled or not, because the classes starts tomorrow. Overall, this is the booklet part. Now, will the PDF or e-copy of the booklets will be provided? Yes. Reason is most of you, they have a tendency to read through tablets and all, correct? So you can also go through that. No need to ask for it extra. It will be provided into the WhatsApp group itself. Is it fine? Now, these 1000 questions of daily MCQ, it will be provided by compiling all these 1000 questions once the course completes in a PDF, e-copy only, right? So that you can go through that once the examinations are near. Are you getting my point? Cut वो आपका preparation हो जाएगा उसमें. Then comes the most important aspect, my friend, recordings. Class recordings, right? Who will be given this? Now this orientation session is being recorded automatically by the system. Once the class ends, 1 hour you have to wait. Generally the recordings are out in 30 minutes, but ideally 1 hour you should be waiting. After 1 hour, the recorded classes will be automatically uploaded on the application itself, mobile application. Though you will open the batch, you will go to the live classes and you can access the recordings of each class. Okay. If you are online student, you will be getting the recording. If you are offline student, you will be getting the recordings. It is a hybrid mode of learning. मान लीजिए आप लोग नहीं आ पाए किसी दिन, right? Medical का कुछ issue हो गया, you can attend the classes live. No need of extra permission for that. Offline and online are the same things, right? It hardly creates a difference. But my friend, if you are in Itanagar, try to be offline. There is no point sitting in the library watching online classes, but I am sure that online students will be enjoying this process more because it is a efficient process. But if no one is there in the class, it will not feel right. Okay, and those who are coming offline, I'll tell you, strongly advise you, find a perfect seat in this classroom. Always sit for those 4 months in the same place. Correct? Are you getting me? No, this is one thing. Recordings सबको मिलेगा irrespective of that. कब तक valid रहेगा? So the course will be completed in the last week of August. Suppose the course completes on 30th August. So the recordings will be available for another 30 days. मतलब 30 अगस्त से 30 days आप count कर लो. So till 30th September the recordings will be there. After that the recordings will be deleted. I am making this point very clear. Correct? From May to August daily recordings will be provided, and that recordings will be available for another 30 days once the classes are over. Only 30 days. Correct? Is this clear? Now last thing that I am going to talk to you is about the book list. Fine, what books you have to buy, but don't buy any books. If you have the books, it's fine, but the moment we come up with the subjects, we'll let you know the books that you can buy. Standard books, NCERTs are good, but we'll be telling you which all books you have to buy once the subject starts. Is it fine? Okay. Now next and the last thing that I'll be telling you is, in the app itself, once the class ends, you open the batch, go to tests, right? For today we have a trial fun test. There you just get an idea about the test, because from tomorrow we are going to have this elaborate and full-fledged classes are going to start from tomorrow. So this was the all details that I has to share. Technical details mein you can access the classes via MacBook, sorry, to access the classes via laptop and MacBook. What you have to do, you have to log in to our website sarvasyaisacademy.com. The moment you will log in, you have to go to the top right corner, login करना पड़ेगा उसमें. Login करिए same numbers के साथ जिससे आपने registration किया है. So you can attend the classes on mobile, on tablet as well as on laptop or desktop. Correct? You can also go through the recordings on these 3 same platforms. Is it fine? Okay. So I'll now request Rajiv sir for the final session and some brief points before we call it a day.
Okay, so in the last part, I have few announcements to make. First, very important, you all would be allowed to attend 5 classes initially starting from tomorrow, whether you have enrolled or not. So after 5 days, you can complete the formalities if you want to continue in the classes. So for 5 days, it is open to everyone, right? Irrespective of enrolled, non-enrolled student, जो भी है 5 दिन तक आपको क्लास रहेगा free, मतलब free access सबके लिए. You can come offline, online, just to get the sense whether you are, getting the things which you have expected or not. Decision लेने में थोड़ा आसानी होगा, ठीक है? So this is a prudent practice I have been following for last 14-15 years. So it is just a continuation of the same practice, right? ठीक है, ये बात समझ में आ गया. 5 classes, ठीक है, starting tomorrow, ठीक है, 6 तारीख है कल, तो 5 days, right? 5 classes till the 5th class. You have access to the online offline classes without completing the formalities, ठीक है? And after that, if you want continue, you can approach the office and you can complete the formalities, right? Coming to the second point, as we have already, you can see in the brochure, we have already announced an integrated UPSC batch just after UPSC prelims. That means in the month of June, okay? And this is going to be the first time, I would say, this is for the first time we are going to have a integrated batch for UPSC targeting UPSC 2026. And this is just to ensure that some of you, maybe some of you, 3, 4, 5 people, right, may develop an interest, and then you would be, right, you would be thinking of UPSC. So in that case, you can think of the integrated course, and prepare for 2026 UPSC. Okay. तो उसको कंडीशनिंग करने के लिए मतलब हाउ टू create interest and how to bring you all in that process, how to develop a kind of a kind of comfortability in that particular process. We'll be starting with daily current affairs, I would say daily current affair doses. That means we'll be sharing the PDF of current affairs on a day-to-day basis, right? And that would be shared in the general inquiry group of Sarvasya व्हाट्सअप, दैट इज अ व्हाट्सअप ग्रुप. तो वहाँ पे रोज शेयर होगा करंट अफेयर्स, मतलब हर दिन का करंट अफेयर्स, ठीक है, वर्ल्ड, इंडिया, ठीक है. तो करंट अफेयर्स रेडीमेड करंट अफेयर्स रोड हम लोग पीडीएफ फॉर्म में शेयर करेंगे. along with that, Amritansu sir has already told you that we'll have the MCQs on a day-to-day basis, 10 MCQs. और करंट अफेयर्स के साथ साथ विल हैव अगेन द एमसीक्यूज, ठीक है, एमसीक्यूज ओनली ऑन करंट अफेयर्स, राइट, प्लस सम सब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चंस आल्सो. सब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन फॉर व्हाट? फॉर कीपिंग इन माइंड द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ मेंस एग्जामिनेशन, ठीक है. मे बी सम ऑफ यू कैन डेवलप द हैबिट ऑफ राइटिंग, क्योंकि होता क्या है, पीटी एग्जामिनेशन तक तो हम लोग बहुत आराम से लिखने का आदत छूट जाता है, ठीक है. बहुत लोगों को तो ग्रेजुएशन के बाद मेरे ख्याल से कुछ लिखे भी नहीं होंगे. आजकल तो सब कुछ ऐसे चलता है ना, मोबाइल, टैब, ये सब ना, तो लिखने का मन ही नहीं होता. तो उसके लिए you'll have the you'll have the relevant questions pertaining to those topics which are in news, which are relevant in the current context. तो आप वो सारे क्वेश्चंस का लिस्ट भी बना सकते हो, ठीक है. आप उसको कंपाइल करके रख सकते हो. यू नेवर नो, बिकॉज विल बी शेयरिंग द स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन, द क्वेश्चंस व्हिच आर एक्सपेक्टेड इन यूपीएससी. ओके. तो दिस कंडीशनिंग विल स्टार्ट, आई वुड से, very soon. After 25th of May. On 25th of May, we'll be announcing the details of UPSC course. And before that, that means from tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we'll be having this conditioning process. The conditioning through current affairs, both objective questions as well as subjective questions. And this is this is going to be a continuous process till we complete the integrated UPSC course in 2026. ठीक है. और उसी तरह से जैसे कि अभी आप लोग पीटी के लिए तैयारी कर रहे हो, तो आपको मालूम है कि बाय एंड ऑफ अगस्त विल बी एबल टू कंप्लीट द कोर्स. तो व्हाट नेक्स्ट, उसके बाद हम क्या करेंगे, ठीक है. तो उसके बाद फिर से वही हमारा इंटीग्रेटेड मेंस प्रिपरेशन, राइट, मेंस जीएस मॉड्यूल कोर्स एंड ऑप्शनल कोर्सेस, सो दैट यू आर प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर द एग्जामिनेशन इन एडवांस, ठीक है. कम से कम 6 महीना अगर पहले आपने प्रिपरेशन कर लिया, एडवांस में प्रिपरेशन कर लिया, तो यू डोंट हैव टू रन हियर एंड देयर ड्यूरिंग द मेंस एग्जामिनेशन, बिकॉज यू हार्डली गेट 3 months, हार्डली, मतलब प्रैक्टिकली तो 2-2.5 महीना ही मिलता है आपको. और उसमें आप जीएस पेपर पढ़ो, ऑप्शनल पढ़ो, इतना बोम्बार्डमेंट हो जाएगा, इतना कुछ आपको खाने के लिए मिलेगा एक ही टाइम पे ना, तो यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू digest and release it, right? So it is better to prepare at least, I would say, at least 70 to 80% of entire requirement before the commencement of the notification, ठीक है. ये सबसे अच्छा स्ट्रेटजी है कि आप पहले प्रिपरेशन कर लो, because you would be getting chance to repeat that, right? And the only panacea to the entire process, this entire examination requires, I said, requires what? Repetition, 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 nothing else, right? Repeat the same thing maybe 4 times, 5 times, 10 times, right? ठीक है. आप समझ रहे हैं ना, 5 बार 6 बार आपको रिवाइज करना पड़ेगा, रिपीट करना पड़ेगा, सेम चीज, ठीक है. तो आप उसमें क्या करेंगे, बिल्कुल कॉन्फिडेंट हो जाए, ठीक है. और 1-2 बार किया, बट अगेन in the main examination you will not be getting the reflexes very quickly and you will not be able to write, ठीक है. तो बहुत कम टाइम होता है, आपको मालूम है. in the main examination for 10 marker question, you get around 7-8 minutes only, 7-8 minutes, and you have to write 150 words, ठीक है. For 15 mark question you have to write in around 250 words, and you get around how many minutes? You get around 11-12 minutes maximum. तो आपका स्पीड, एक्यूरेसी, ये कैसे टेस्ट होगा? एक दिन में तो नहीं होने वाला है, ठीक है. रोम वाज नॉट बिल्ट इन अ डे, it takes time. Okay, so you have to develop that habit, you have to develop that habit of writing, you have to develop that habit of solving MCQs, so that you are able to cater to the demand of PT examination as well as the main examination. At least आज से ही शुरू करो कुछ लिखना, ठीक है. develop that habit of having a pen and paper all the time, ठीक है. क्लास में बैठे हो, you can make your notes also, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, ठीक है. डिक्टेशन बहुत कम होगा, मतलब स्पेशली आई विल नॉट बी डूइंग एनी डिक्टेशन, क्योंकि टाइम ही नहीं होता, देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स टू कवर ना, एंड इफ आई फॉलो डिक्टेशन तो मालूम है तो दैट 28 क्लासेस वुड गो अप टू 48 क्लासेस, बहुत मुश्किल है। तो कंप्रेस करके जितना ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हम लोग टॉपिक्स करा पाए, मतलब दोनों का ध्यान रखा जाएगा, हॉरिजेंटल कवरेज दैट मीन्स द हॉरिजेंटल एक्सपांशन कवरेज इज इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट, एंड एट द सेम टाइम वी हैव टू मेंटेन द डेप्थ आल्सो, ठीक है, डेप्थ भी मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा। तो इट बिकम्स डिफिकल्ट इफ यू फॉलो डिक्टेशन। डिक्टेशन को पीटी के एग्जामिनेशन में तो नहीं, ठीक है, पीटी के स्टेज में तो हम लोग ज़्यादा नहीं करते, हाँ मेंस में थोड़ा मोड़ा चलेगा, विद स्पेशली इन द फाउंडेशन कोर्स, just to develop that habit of writing. So we regularly have test every day. Every day we used to have test during our mains courses. ठीक है, so just wait for it. After August, again you'll have the uh, again we'll be sharing the information, the plan for the mains preparation, and hopefully by January or February 2026, you'll be able to complete all requirement. That means the PT as well as the mains requirement. Once that is done, you can sit back at home, you can repeat, you can update, right, you can say you'll be getting all the details, all the updates in the groups itself, ठीक है। ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने अभी सोच के देखो कि you are completing your course in August, but we don't know when the notification is going to come, ठीक है, तो क्या करेंगे उस समय तक, how you are going to remain engaged, how you are going to remain updated, तो for that you have to remain active in the group, we will be sharing the current affairs material, वही अपडेट करना है आपको, ठीक है। तो जब तक आपका एग्जामिनेशन नहीं होगा, हम लोग आपको सारा मटेरियल अपडेट करते जाएंगे, मे बी बिफोर the PT examination, again whatever updates are required in different subjects, especially in the current affairs part, as right, and some miscellaneous some miscellaneous information which are right, which are synced with other sections like polity or maybe economy, so we'll be sharing all the updates so that you don't have to run here and there, ठीक है, इधर उधर ज़्यादा सर्च करने का जरूरत नहीं है, just you have to remain active in the group, right, you would be getting all the information, all the updates, all those updated materials before the examination, ठीक है, चिंता का बात नहीं है, मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि आप अगस्त में कोर्स कंप्लीट हो गया फिर बाय बाय टाटा, हम लोग कोई मतलब नहीं, ऐसा बात नहीं, ठीक है। तो will remain with you till you take your first step, that means the first stage examination, that is PT examination, ठीक है। कुछ और है अमृतांशु? बस ठीक है। One more thing, you must be knowing it. We have the facility of study hall also on the 5th floor, just a floor below this. तो वो भी 24/7 है with all the facilities, all amenities. So obviously once you start the process, and if you are interested in say in sitting here and say in preparing for the examination, you can avail that facility, ठीक है, वो भी कर सकते हो। Now let's have the open session for 5-10 minutes. हालांकि I'm confident that this is not going to last beyond 30 seconds, but still I'll try my best. I have been trying this for last 15 years. फिर से कोशिश करूंगा। So this is an open session. Any question, any doubt, any query, whatever you have, please participate and ask those things clearly. कोई भी hesitation का जरूरत नहीं है, ठीक है। The questions may be absurd according to you, but that may become relevant for others ना। तो जो भी है, please participate in this 5-10 minutes. If you want, we can extend it to 30 minutes also. पर फिर से मतलब I'm hoping against the hope ना, फिर भी तो कुछ क्वेश्चन है आप लोग का, एक एक करके पूछूंगा। नहीं, मुझे मालूम था आपको कुछ, मतलब इतना जबरदस्त हम लोगों ने बात किया है, इतना अच्छा डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन था कि समझ लीजिए कि इस धरती के तो लोग हम लोग हैं, हम लोग दूसरे प्लेनेट से आए हैं, एलियन हैं, और हम लोग गलती कर ही नहीं सकते, है कि नहीं। और ये 14-15 साल से ऐसे ही चल रहा है। क्या बात है, ऐसा तो आदमी मतलब कभी कभी 200-500 साल में ही पैदा होता होगा, शायद उसमें से मैं हूँ, है ना। आप लोग मुझे वही फील कराते हो बार बार, मतलब ऐसा क्वेश्चन डाउट कैसे नहीं हो सकता यार, डाउट तो होगा ही होगा। लेकिन क्या, अभी मैं आपसे नहीं पूछूंगा, मैं अपना दोस्त को पूछा, तुमको मालूम है क्या, हाँ, उसका कॉन्फिडेंस खराब करना है, ठीक है। चलिए, कुछ सवाल है? नहीं, नहीं, चलिए कम से कम स्माइल तो कर रहे हैं। आपका कुछ भी नहीं दोस्त, ठीक है। आप लोग, एनीवन, कोई अगर है तो जस्ट रेज योर हैंड, विल बी शेयरिंग द माइक। अगर कुछ सब लोग सुन सकते, हाँ माइक हमारा
हो जाएगा सर,
इधर ही होगा।
कोई डाउट नहीं होगा।
डाउट होना, हाँ मतलब ये शायद दिस में अट्रैक्ट यू ना, तो इसलिए यस आई न्यू इट। नो 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 प्रॉब्लम, यूज इट।
Sir, I have a doubt in question distribution section. आपने बोला मैथ्स के 24 क्वेश्चन और वो रीजनिंग सेक्शन में 18
About that.
and for the English section 80 sorry
There are
20
20 questions for reading comprehension and there is some communication based questions also.
Okay, sir, so total question is 80, but
Yes,
if we
yes.
add this up,
Yes, yes.
it comes up to 72.
Yes, this I have told you, there are some general studies based question
So
also.
उनके लिए एक
About
question
eight,
अलग से.
about 8 questions are coming, which are general studies GK based question also in CSAT. That is a unique thing in
Thank
APPSCCE.
you.
That is not included in the syllabus, right?
That
That
is
is not mentioned in the syllabus, but we normally see some questions coming from general studies part. I mean the
मतलब जैसे
subject which we
science
have in
environment that will be doing in GS, वो questions हो.
Thank you, sir.
रुक जाइए एक मिनट।
Anybody else?
और कोई
Anybody? Want to ask?
नहीं, माइक देख के भी यार क्या बात, मतलब आप समझ सकते हैं कि कितना बड़ा, मतलब यू कैन सी द लेवल ऑफ एक्साइटमेंट ना, माइक लेने के बाद भी। नहीं तो आजकल माइक के लिए तो कितना लोग लड़ाई कर देते हैं, नहीं देखा होगा आपने कितना स्टेज भी गिर जाता है, ठीक है। स्पेशली इन द पॉलिटिकल रैलीज यू मस्ट हैव सीन, माइक के पीछे कितना लोग दीवाना रहते हैं, ठीक है। और कुछ लोगों तो माइक का ही आदत है, दिन भर माइक में ही बैठे रहते हैं, कुछ बोलते रहते हैं। एनीवेज आई मीन दैट सीम्स कि यू ऑल आर नॉर्मल, है ना, ज़्यादा माइक्स में इंटरेस्ट नहीं, मतलब ये सब चीज़, और अपना प्राइवेसी को ज़्यादा ही शायद आप लोग मेरे ख्याल से क्या कहते हैं, आर्टिकल 21 को बहुत ही ज़्यादा सीरियसली आप लोगों ने लिया है, ठीक है। तो कॉन्ग्रेचुलेसन्स, प्रोटेक्ट योर राइट टू प्राइवेसी। हाँ, और मत बोलिए, कोई बात नहीं, पर बोलना पड़ेगा दोस्त, याद रखिए, ठीक है। आज बोलिए या कल बोलिए, एंड यू नो इन द इंटरव्यू स्टेज यू हैव टू ना, वहाँ तो चुप रह नहीं सकते कि नहीं हम नहीं बोलेंगे। आप देखते हैं उसके बाद भी मेरा सिलेक्शन कैसे कर लेते हैं, ठीक है। तो वो तो बहुत टफ टास्क होगा उनके लिए। हाँ, वो तभी संभव है कि जब आप 1750 में 900 1000 मार्क्स लेके आ गए और आपको पता भी नहीं है कितना मार्क्स आया, ठीक है। तो इतना भी कॉन्फिडेंस अच्छा नहीं है ना। एनीवेज वो पहले ऑनलाइन का देखते हैं। यस, आई एम टेकिंग दिस क्वेश्चन of one of my online friends. The question says, the friend says, will there be only one subject per session per day or more? Yes, we'll have only one subject. We have already clarified. We'll be starting with Indian polity tomorrow, and that will go till I would say it is of 20 classes. So that would be till I mean the end of May. हाँ, तो एक सब्जेक्ट हर दिन में। Tara, sir, validity is only for 1 month after completion of course. Why so less? It's just because of I mean some technical issues, because we cannot keep all those recordings in the app. There is a limit for the storage. So this is a practice we follow after every batch. We keep the recordings accessible for 1 month. Uske baad will not be able to continue it, because we have to start with new batches, and again the storage limit is fixed. So that has to do with the app and I would say the software, the platform, the Class Plus platform, which is which has fixed the limit. Will the CSAT classes be taken up later in the year? We are starting with CSAT class now, and if required, maybe after the declaration of final result, again you'll have a new excitement in the market, right? So everything runs on the market, demand and supply. Okay, so let's see. Thank you, sir, for the detailed orientation. Oh, this is not a question. Fine. Fine. So I'm very thankful to all of you for patient listening and giving your valuable time. हाँ, तो अच्छा है कि इस मौसम में भी जो मौसम है अभी कुछ वैसा मौसम नहीं है, सीजन नहीं है ना, सीजन समझते हैं ना, रिजल्ट आया, ठीक है, सीजन शुरू हो गया, नोटिफिकेशन आया, सीजन शुरू हो गया ना. So you people are here, that shows कि you are you are committed to your goal. You know what you are going to do. और ऑफ सीजन में प्रिपरेशन करना एक अलग ही उसका चार्म है, ठीक है ना. बिकॉज ड्यूरिंग नोटिफिकेशन पीरियड वी टू रन वेरी इम्पेशेंटली, वेरी फास्ट. हाँ, हम लोग ज़्यादा एंटरटेन भी नहीं कर पाते, ठीक है. बट ड्यूरिंग आई मीन ऑफ टाइम जो ये मतलब लीन पीरियड होता है, उसमें वी कैन फर्दर, वी हैव दैट लेवरेज, वी हैव दैट liberty to extend the classes for maybe 5-10 days na, extending the classes by 10-15 minutes every day, but that is not possible during notification period. ठीक है, तो अच्छा है, take advantage of it. Okay, बस. Yes, why not? Mumtam, I said it totally depends upon your, I mean, willpower. Na? If you are interested in UPSC, even if you are preparing for APPSC, you can join UPSC batches. There is no issue. और हम लोग तो ये चाह रहे हैं, मतलब this is the last thing I want in my I mean career here, just to add one more feather into I mean in the name of the institution. तो एक दो सिलेक्शन भी अगर हम लोग दे पाते हैं यूपीएससी में, तो दैट वुड बी अ बिग अचीवमेंट ना. पहले भी हुआ है, बट इट वाज नॉट, आई मीन इट वाज नॉट थ्रू ए डेडिकेटेड कोर्स फॉर यूपीएससी, ठीक है. तो ये मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप लोग इसको सीरियसली लीजिए. यूपीएससी और एपीपीएससी का सिलेबस सेम है, आपको पता है, वर्ड टू वर्ड सेम सिलेबस, ठीक है. एंड वट एवर प्रिपरेशन वी हैव डन सो फार, that is up to the UPSC standard. मतलब 80% of UPSC requirement we have already fulfilled, ठीक है. और उसमें थोड़ा सा और पॉलिशिंग करने का जरूरत है, थोड़ा सिंक बैठा रहे हैं उसमें, अलग अलग जो मिसिंग ब्लॉक्स है उसको भी ऐड कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. तो वी आर जस्ट इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ डिजाइनिंग द कोर्स, इन्वेंटिंग इट, री इन्वेंटिंग इट एवरी डे, ताकि वो रेलेवेंट रहे. मतलब वी कैनॉट कैरी, वी कैनॉट आई मीन follow the same as a conventional approach all the time. We need to change ourselves, we need to adapt to the changing requirement of the examination, ठीक है. यूपीएससी में भी काफ़ी चेंजेस होता रहता है, हर साल होता रहता है, ठीक है. तो आपको उसके साथ थोड़ा सा सिंक बनाना पड़ेगा. वन मोर थिंग आई वांट टू हाईलाइट, यूपीएससी के प्रीलिम्स क्लियर करने के बाद आपको मालूम है बोनांजा, ठीक है. स्टेट गवर्नमेंट आपको मालूम है ना क्या मिलता है? नहीं, नहीं मालूम. मेरा मुंह से तो अच्छा नहीं लगेगा बोलने में, आप बताइए क्या मिलता है.
2 lakhs.
हाँ हाँ, 2 lakhs, a sum of rupees 2 lakhs is given to the candidate for continuing further preparation, ठीक है. पीटी खाली निकालने से, समझ में आ रहा है, और हर बार निकालने से हर बार. तो ये भी एक मोटिवेशन है. बहुत लोग सोचते हैं कि चलो 2 लाख तो आ गया ना, ये हाउजी खेलने से अच्छा है, ठीक है. तो देख लीजिए, ठीक है. मतलब इसको लाइटर नोट पे मैं बोल रहा हूँ, बट I mean the intention is not to not to clear only PT examination. The intention is to get your name in the final list. अगर वो intention है तो you would be coming out in flying colors, ठीक है. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best. और तो कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं.